Close your eyes. Count to 3. Breathe deeply. Before you left, your mother showed you pictures of your dad you'd never seen. In one of them, he was dressed as a gunslinger for Halloween, holding you as a baby. The fabric of that poncho is familiar to you, as that poncho became a blanket in your home for many years. And now, the fabric of this checkerboard on this barrel is the exact same on your fingers. He would have loved to be on the road with you. One last breakfast with you and the kid, maybe. Your son runs up to you holding a toy car. You tell him, maybe we can get it after we eat, knowing he'll just get sleepy anyway. He wants to be a race car driver, even though you want him to follow in his father's footsteps and become the greatest cellist in the world, which you are. You are Yo-Yo Ma, and your dad just died. Your son insists, but you again say no. He pouts and says, "Okay, Yo-Yo Ma, you win this time, but one day your fingers will wither with age. Your beautiful music will disappear from this earth like a ghost, and your cello will sit rotting with worms in an old fruit cellar, turning soft like a log on the forest floor." Yo-Yo Ma Jr. has a dark heart much like that of Grima Wormtongue, and you fear what he may become. Your table is ready, so you leave the checkerboard behind and grab Junior. Walking to the table, he clings to your leg. An older woman asks you, "Excuse me, are you Yo-Yo Ma?" And you look at her and say, "Yes, I am Yo-Yo Ma, and I am the greatest cellist alive." You're in Cracker Barrel with Luke and DBJ. Welcome to Stores.
Stores, but where they sell your favorite stuff, but where the shelves are stocked with love, but where you find a line of happy shoppers. Stores, the friendly staff will wave and smile when you come to browse the aisles. So let's take a trip to all our favorite stores.
I really enjoy everything I've seen from you.
Yeah.
And I do feel like if we ever lived in the same city, we would probably be friends and get along great.
Definitely.
And I think you and I have a mutual assumption of that.
Yes.
And it has led to us sometimes fucking with each other.
Yes.
But we don't know each other.
No, we really don't. I feel a
it's-
kinship with you, and I feel and I think it's because we feel very comfortable with one another. But yes, we do fuck with each other, which for an amount that is strange, based on the fact that we've probably talked a total of 2 hours maximum over 7 years.
And to be clear, we've only met in person one night.
One time.
And you messed up my intro.
And I messed up, and then you did roast me so hard.
Relentlessly.
And it was really funny, but it was really funny in that way that I also was kind of thinking to myself, totally, but is he actually mad? Because I don't know him that
We don't
well.
know each other
We don't
well
know
enough
each
to
other.
know if these bits are appropriate.
No.
That being said, I did want to start tonight by just saying, like, I do really like you, but I am an alpha, and if you get out of pocket, I'll get fucked.
Yeah. Well, that's
I'll
that's
fuck
what
you
Luke
up if you get
needs.
out of
That's so hard because
pocket.
I'm an alpha.
Jesse,
though.
you seem cool, but Luke and I have been in an alpha standoff for years now.
No,
Which
but
is
Luke
so strange because I would say that only in the respective fields we're in could we ever even. There's only among pretty much 99% of the population, you and I are not alphas. But when
So
it
we
comes
have to alpha each other.
exactly.
It's a
When
real
it comes
race to the
to
bottom.
nerdy alt-white comedians who only feel a sense of power when they can do a crazy joke, we're in our element.
Also, not being aggressive to you, I have told people unironically, and I don't know if I've ever talked with you about this, you are my favorite actor. I have at times said this. One of my favorite shows of all time, and I don't care what platform it's on, the Meg Stalter Show is an under talked about gem of comedy. Has she pulled those since her rise to fame?
She
Are they still out there?
They are still out there. She actually just posted about it because she posted something from it around like she didn't get SNL and she posted a bit from it. This was her audition. If you remember the thing where she had a mask. If you don't know Jesse or the people listening, me and Meg Stalter did a show called The Meg Stalter Show in Chicago a million years ago where I played the producer character on the show, Kelly. And it was really just a show about me playing the straight man as Meg went fucking insane.
You're great on it.
Well,
and
thank you.
It's been.
I think you make a very good
York.
straight man. You don't get put in that
you.
position a lot, but I think you make a very good straight man.
He
I
was
agree with
great. Probably one of the best comedic acting performances I've seen in recent years. That's
Well,
true.
That's
really
nice.
made me fall in love with you guys and your whole crew. I was given a heads up of like, hey, there's these Chicago kids doing something that kind of feels like your old public access show.
Yeah.
And I want, you enter that situation going like, am I getting ripped off again with that paranoia? And then I watched it and was like, I love this.
Yeah.
This whole crew seems fucking awesome. And if there's one, like Meg and I, when Meg moved to New York, I put her on a bunch of shows immediately, really liked her, knew her from her show. But then she left town so quick.
I know.
She babysat my child one time when he was very young.
Crazy.
And if there's, it's been such a joy to see her rise to fame. But if there's anything, like, it's great. Lena Dunham loves her. Hacks is great. But like the Meg Stalter Show, I wish there was a stage. Her skyrocketing success meant that there wasn't a stage of that career ascension that warranted the return of the Meg Stalter Show, which is a shame because I think it would save late night television.
Yes.
I think it's great. It's a great show, and you're great on
it. Needs saving.
It does.
That's why you're my favorite actor. Luke Taylor is.
That's cool.
one of my
Luke Taylor
favorite
is my
actors.
favorite actor.
That's great.
Let's get it going in the comments on the YouTube channel.
Am I your
please.
favorite actor? Sound
Yes.
off below. Chris,
Luke
you're probably
Taylor is
the
my
only
favorite actor.
human being on earth that you can
Okay,
the phrase
actually,
Luke Taylor.
can I say something?
I'm
In the
your
comment,
favorite actor?
No. I just asked for a comment. I would like our comment section to look different. And for the comments on all the YouTube, anywhere you can leave a comment for this episode, please only comment one of two things.
Yeah.
Either comment a single word Luke or comment Denzel. And those are the two things that you're allowed to
'cause I'm
comment.
Denzel.
And then we will know which is your
Yeah.
favorite actor of all time.
So either Luke is your favorite actor, like me.
Right.
Yes.
Luke's my favorite actor,
Right.
or Denzel is a word that represents not just Denzel Washington, but everyone else who has ever acted who is not Luke Taylor.
Yes.
right.
Yeah. And
That's
he's
right.
sort of
So
the platonic
effectively-
ideal. Yeah.
Yes.
Denzel is synonymous with the word no in this case. No, Luke
Yes.
is not my favorite actor.
And
Yeah,
I
that's
like
right.
this too
Bench.
because it almost says for me to be your favorite actor, that means I am also better than every other actor combined into some sort of super actor.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is
fine with
Denzel
that.
Washington.
But I'll tell you, like, I am obviously kidding around, but I am kind of proud that is my fucked up headspace. That
Yeah.
I found the Meg Stalter Show before anyone else in New York, I think, ever saw it.
No, yeah.
And there were like 30 views of video, and I was like, this guy Kelly is the best.
That is
And I
love
stand
Chris.
by
That's
that.
nice.
I stand by that. That's one of my favorite comedic performances of recent years. And I still sometimes sit around and, when I see Meg doing press, I still hope someday the Meg Stalter Show returns.
I think there's something to this. Because my community on Twitch is like kind of, they have a lot of access to me. I got a lot of like small creators asking me like, what was the thing that made things catch fire? I never have a good answer. I don't think there's a good answer for that. But one thing I'll say is all the stuff that I did and liked and thought was good that never got any attention is worthwhile because it will come home to roost eventually.
And
you'll be able
yeah.
to either look back or tap back into something good and show people something that you did before, or just like a situation like this where it's like a connection that you didn't even know was there. Where
Yeah.
Chris Gethard thinks you're the best actor on the planet.
on the
and
planet.
I actually,
Yeah.
I think I'm going to make that my bio on Blue Sky too. I am Chris Gethard's favorite actor.
Please do. I'll re-blue sky that. I have a couple bombs where I'm like, yeah, they missed the mark. That's cringy. And then I have a couple bombs where I'm like, that was one of the best fucking things I ever did. And
yeah.
Yeah.
it was just in a phase of life where it's been strange for me because I was very motivated, like all of us when we're young, but it's weird being an alt comedian and hitting your 40s and realizing like, oh, just people give less of a shit. Like the alt community is inherently a young person's community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now there's like nostalgia for me. Now I get intro. Now all the alt comedians are like, you're like comedy uncle. You're
Yeah.
like the comedy
Well,
uncle.
because
That's
we're
not
all
bad.
the age where we all. I mean, like I watched your show in like college, and it was like one of the first alternative comedy things I saw. That was like when I was like, oh, comedy doesn't just have to be Seinfeld or SNL, which is like, I mean, I've said this before. I literally until I got to college and like learned what improv was, just growing up in Washington D.C., no
can I-
comedy scene.
Hey, can I say something really quick?
comedy is just Seinfeld and SNL.
Welcome to Stores. Our guest today is Chris Gethard. Today we are
That's
talking
good.
about the Cracker Barrel General Store.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Which
picked
is
it.
very, very exciting. Chris, you did pick it.
Yeah,
And can
I
I
did.
ask, and the first question I would ask you, Chris, is
Yeah.
why did you pick it?
Well, I picked it because I love Cracker Barrel so much, and I need to be extremely clear about something right out of the gate, which
Yes.
is that Luke contacted me
Yes, this is important.
Yeah.
many weeks ago.
This is well before
I
the
picked
Cracker Barrel
Cracker Barrel.
logo
Yeah.
bullshit. Yes.
And then we all involved in this were like, yeah, Cracker Barrel sounds great. And then Cracker Barrel became national news.
it
went
became this
viral, a bunch of times.
flashpoint. Yeah.
Maybe something of a conservative cause in the
Right.
time since I've picked
Right.
it. And we're
Yeah.
all going to have to reckon with that today, fellas.
Totally.
It's
Chris's
just-
restaurant is a conservative dog whistle that he loves so much, and that's
It has
unfortunate.
become a weird
Yeah.
dog whistle in the time.
really
To
has.
be clear, when I picked it,
No. Yes.
none of these things
I
were
think
culturally
Fully, and I would say it was like, oh, Cracker Barrel. I haven't thought about that in a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah,
Was how it
and
felt when you picked
I
it.
do
picked
think
it,
that-
and now we all got to deal with this
We gotta-
shit.
we
yes.
gotta deal with
Now
it.
we gotta handle it.
And us three, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure out what the heck is going on.
We're
and
gonna
come
see.
to a-
Is it good or bad? The logo, is that good or bad?
Yeah.
We don't know.
But this will come out probably on Monday, and then it'll be just like exactly too late for anyone to give a shit about our thoughts on
precisely
the logo.
1
I've
week
also
too
been
late.
doing a lot of soul searching about why I think people got so mad about the logo.
Yeah.
And why I love Cracker Barrel and where those Venn diagrams cross over. I am I take a lot of pride in being like from a working class family
Yeah.
growing up.
Yeah,
I think I have the
Or,
insight on
sorry.
this, and I think we're gonna build some bridges. I
Okay,
think we're gonna build some bridges.
incredible.
That's beautiful.
I think we're all going to come together, and this episode of the Stores podcast is probably going to maybe not solve, but certainly go a long way
Change
towards
hearts.
healing
Healing.
Change
I was
hearts.
about to say the same.
Class
It's going to heal.
conflict in
It's going to
America.
heal America.
class
I-
conflict in America.
I believe Cracker
Yeah.
Barrel was one of these places that when we first started the podcast, this came up as like such a weird place
Yeah.
that we really wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
Well, because it's, I mean, first of all, and I feel like let's get to the other elephant. Well, what should have been the elephant in the room, but now, of course, there's another elephant in the room, the logo. But the original elephant in the room was, I made it very clear to Chris, we will not be talking about the restaurant.
very clear in a way
Yes.
that I
Yes.
found actually
We cannot.
strangely aggressive, Luke.
Yes, we
well,
cannot.
and that goes,
well,
that's our tete-a-tete.
and I
but-
don't know that it's
got
aggressive,
weird.
Chris. And
Yeah.
not Chris. I don't know if it's aggressive.
Thank you,
to-
Jess.
to
And this
set
is why my
boundaries.
co-host is about to
to set
absolutely
reasonable
take you
boundaries. And
task.
obviously, our audience has an expectation that
Yeah.
we will not be talking about restaurants on
This ain't
the podcast.
Doughboys.
No, let me tell you
it's not
exactly. It's
Doughboys.
not Doughboys.
Exactly,
And that's
that's
exactly
right.
the
Doughboys
distinction.
is already Doughboys.
Exactly. And we're doing,
Exactly.
I mean,
Luke
imagine
to say
this.
you basically have to disassociate the restaurant from the store and then double down on it and
this
triple
almost-
down on it in the DMs.
Well,
was-
I just felt like you
and
weren't
this almost
really-
feels like too much talking about the restaurant
I
already.
know, exactly.
Like,
I mean,
already
yes,
we've
exactly,
talked too much
exactly.
about it.
And you,
The fact that we
yes.
even mentioned that there is
Thank
a
you, Jesse.
restaurant
Thank you,
is
Jesse.
maybe too
We
much.
are talking about, let me be
And-
clear what the title of this episode is. The title of this episode
Yes.
is Cracker Barrel General Store with Chris Gethard.
Yes.
Not Cracker Barrel with Chris Gethard, not Cracker Barrel Restaurant with Chris Gethard. Cracker Barrel General Store with Chris Gethard.
my favorite actor can't even pronounce my name.
I actually did that on purpose. It was one of my acting tricks. It was one of my classic
Red
little
leather, yellow leather. Chris
red
Gethard,
leather, Chris
Gethard.
Gethard leather. Well, imagine this, Chris. Imagine this. Imagine this. Let me,
Yellow Gethard.
let me put this in terms you
Red
can
Gethard,
understand.
yellow
You
Gethard.
host an incredible podcast called Beautiful Anonymous, correct?
Thanks. Yeah.
All right. Imagine if I sum up to you. I said, "All right, this week is beautiful. It's beautiful known." And you know the guy calling in.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, I get it. It's your podcast. I'm not trying to step on toes. I'm just
Right.
saying, goddamn bull in a china shop
Yeah.
in my DMs.
Yeah.
No nuance.
And
No.
usually
No
your DMs are a
subtlety.
place of peace.
Oh, my DMs are generally the height of parliamentary procedure, of decorum, social decorum. So you can imagine a guy who's made emo alt comedy and whose last name spells Gethard. My DMs generally never
Yeah.
aggressive,
Right.
never one time aggressive until Luke
Like
gets
a-
in there.
Like a piece, like a fairy glade almost.
Luke's
light
in here
hangs.
swinging a goddamn cudgel around with his demands.
Well,
about
I
we
just think
gotta
I just
separate.
it just I guess it's we talked at the beginning. You're a comedy dare I say legend. You're a comedy icon, Chris. And I just wanted you to know where the fuck you stood when it come to my podcast. I want to know where the fuck I want you to know where the fuck you stood because
I told you at the beginning, you get out of pocket and I'll fuck you up, dude.
I'll
and then
fuck
you up.
All right,
and
guys,
then what?
guys.
I wish I had my phone right now because I said something and then you didn't respond to it and I go, man, have we crossed a weird line? So it's fun to kind of explore this
I
stuff
think I
today.
also had
I'm
2
glad
or
that I'm
3
here for
instances
this.
where I
Yeah.
said something and then quickly and meekly was
There-
like,
I would say
I'm going for a laugh right now. Just so
there
we're
was
clear.
there was an hour later, and then I felt like I couldn't do the thing where it was like, oh no, man, I just wasn't looking at my phone because that felt an insane sort of infantilizing thing to send to someone I also don't know that well. So it only me and Chris are going to have a lot to work out, as you could tell.
There was also.
I
I know
can
this
tell.
isn't about us, Luke, but I do clearly have a little bit of a comedy crush on you, and I just want to
Yeah.
say, one of the other aspects of our relationship. Again, we only met once in person. There
Yeah.
was a stretch of your life.
Yeah.
During the pandemic where you were going on Instagram and streaming while driving a motor vehicle.
You were the okay. I'm so glad
kept
you brought
joining,
this
I
up.
kept joining
Yeah.
and became the de facto co-host.
Yes.
And someone who loved you quickly stepped in and was like, Luke, this is not safe.
Totally.
Don't
You
do
were
this."
the only supporter of that
I was a
endeavor.
huge
I would say
fan.
every time I did that, both my girlfriend and all of my roommates, including Wyatt of the Shrimp Boys, would message me privately and say, you cannot do this.
Yeah.
What are you doing? But it
And
was
I
really
was like,
funny.
Can I bring up something else about Luke and driving? And this is something that comes up a lot.
What?
Luke has in his car.
This isn't crazy.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy. I don't know if I mentioned it on the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm sure I must have because I.
No, I don't think so.
Well, I
This
think
is-
about it all the time.
Yeah.
Luke has in his car glasses, inside glasses from his kitchen that he will fill with juice or
Iced
something.
coffee.
Not, I thought you meant glasses like I wear, like glasses.
No,
on
no, no,
eyes.
no, no. Drinking glasses.
You drink from drinking glasses in your car?
In the car, in the cup holder.
I don't have a thermos.
If I went out to his car right now, both cup holders would have an empty glass in them.
And there's one on the floor in the passenger side.
What do you
seat.
mean there's one on the floor?
Bring the glasses inside when you're done, man.
Well,
What about cans? What about bottles?
What about never taking them out
I
to
drink-
begin with
I
because they're
drink-
made of fucking glass?
I drink bottled iced coffee. I drink Stoke iced coffee brand. Oh, if we could get that partnership, please, if you're listening. But I drink it
Pour
every
into
morning.
a glass and
And I
carry
pour
to
it
your
into a
car?
glass with ice, and
Yes.
then sometimes I'm like, well, I have to go
It's
somewhere.
in a bottle, and he moves
and
it
I
to
don't,
a glass.
and then can I be honest? One time I did this, and I put it in a red Solo cup instead, and I still got shit. So I don't know what you want from
because
me.
that's even more insane.
Yeah,
And
that's
he
not
did this
more
to my car
demonstrably
once.
worse.
No, he did
Why
this
is
to my
that
car.
worse?
Excuse you. He did this to my car once. I was driving him someplace, and he was like, "All right, let's go." And he climbs into my car holding an open, full red Solo cup of something, and is like, "All right, let's get going."
Well, you thought it was
the
liquor.
most
Video?
spillable fucking cup of all time.
Well, did I spill it?
You out here trying to play beer pong in a car?
I don't know what
I-
the fuck.
I-
if I got
with
pulled
our
over
lives.
and there's a red Solo cup in the cup holder,
What do you
I'm
want
getting
me to
perforated.
use? What do you guys
You
think
only
I should
get
be
so much time on this fucking earth, Luke.
I would use that same argument against you. We only get so much time on this earth, and I enjoy the cool, refreshing clink of ice in a glass as I'm driving around.
If you get
Los
into an
Angeles.
accident, the glasses are going to explode,
Yeah,
and you're going to
definitely.
look like
And one
Jigsaw
time
from
recently,
Daredevil.
I did stop the car so fast that a glass shattered. But you know what?
What
It's-
are you? What are you?
It's because it was on the ground. Because it wasn't in the cup holder. It was on the ground.
There's one on the ground right now. You
Yeah.
just said there's one on the ground right now.
Well, it's not on my side of the car.
are you talking
I don't have
about?
it under my feet. I'm not
Luke gets
smashing it
into
up.
a slight fender bender and goes to the hospital with
No. He
multiple
said
lacerations.
he said it exploded when he stopped too fast. Is that right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
That's not even a fender bender. That's
I love
normal
this.
driving, and it exploded.
LA drivers are crazy, man. I mean, they are insane. You cannot believe the things people are doing on the streets. Oh my
That's
god.
wild shit, dude.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
want.
wild.
I
That's
love
my
you,
life.
Luke. I love
You
you,
got a lot
Luke. I
of
love.
picadillos.
So going to Cracker Barrel, we had a
Yeah,
little bit
love
of a road trip because the closest one was an hour
hour
away,
away.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I
You
love
guys took
going
the
on a
road
little.
trip. That's great. That's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
it
which
was
is-
great.
which is-
I want to say, well, the store was great. We actually aren't talking about the food.
Yeah.
Well, I
Am I
have
even allowed to ask, did you eat there?
Yes, we can say that.
I don't think
You don't think we can say
No,
that?
I don't
well,
think-
okay, should we tell?
'cause it's
should we
almost
tell
too
what we're doing
tempting.
with the food part, or is it a surprise?
No, it's a surprise.
okay. Never mind.
But
Oh, okay.
but we are. I liked the road trip. First off, that's a big part of Cracker Barrel.
yes,
I was
that
just
it's-
going to say,
it's on
I'm
the
so
road.
happy to hear
Yeah.
this. It's a
Yeah.
road trip place.
yes.
in
And
the
so
It's
I
the
think
only.
that-
I never eat. I don't think I've ever eaten a Cracker Barrel like
or shopped.
or shots. Thank you,
Luke?
and thank you, Chris. Thank you. No,
What's
I've never
going on with
shopped
you,
at
Luke?
Cracker Barrel General Store except on a road trip.
Yeah. Yeah.
I-
It's you guys tell me when you want me to start waxing poetic about why I
Hit
really
it.
enjoy
Anytime, go for it.
Hit it.
Go for it. Because otherwise,
So-
I'm going to keep screaming at Luke.
Look, like every other artist in my position, touring becomes part of necessity to survive, right? But as you get older, touring is a little less exciting. I have a kid. It means time away from my kid, time away from my wife, from my house. And when you've driven from Buffalo to Detroit 10 times already, or you've driven from Iowa City to Wichita already, everything starts to blend together
It's a little bit less magical, yeah.
a little bit less. And I say that not to be complainy, but to say, like, the amount of times I've been to a city and gone, let me look up the cool restaurant. And then I go there and realize, oh, I've actually eaten here before. I guess I've performed in this city before. It becomes a little bit dystopian, a little bit
Sure.
weird.
Yeah.
Sure.
But when you are on any given road trip in America, you get not that far outside of the metropolitan areas. And every corner of this country has Cracker Barrels.
Yes.
Yeah,
And when
Cracker
you
Barrel
see
is like
those-
is like welcome to the outside
Yeah.
in a bit of a way.
I don't associate it as a regional chain. Like
No.
Waffle House is in the Southeast. And I get excited
Yes.
when I see Waffle House.
Yeah.
Cracker Barrel's everywhere. And the thing about Cracker Barrel that amazes me is that the physical setup of every Cracker Barrel is generally exactly the same.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
Cracker Barrel, yes, has some cheesy nostalgia to it, but I think a lot of us grew up with places that felt like they had a certain charm to them. And I think Cracker Barrel is a corporation that's actively trying to recreate that charm in a disingenuous way, but are kind of nailing that disingenuous
totally-
recreation of a certain small town charm.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
And to walk into a place that has the same exact physical layout and a remembrance of a certain small town charm. Like in my hometown, there was a place called Pal's Cabin that people from nearby towns would go for years. They had burgers and steaks, and they were known for very good French onion soup. And it had the exact look and feel of what you would think a place called Pal's Cabin would be. Wood, and it was a little dark inside, and it was old and had this tavern-like feel, and it got knocked down like 10 or 15 years ago, and it's a CVS now. And you can't ever go back to Pal's Cabin. But you can go back to Cracker Barrel, and it's a Disney-fied, weird caricature version of that old school thing. But if I'm lonely in Nevada, or I'm lonely in Montana, or I'm lonely in Pennsylvania when I'm out on the road trying to make a little money and I haven't seen my kid in a few days, it's exactly the fucking same.
It's comforting.
Yes.
Everywhere.
It is.
It's
It is.
comforting.
And I think you're totally right. And it's something I was thinking about a lot. I was like, you're sitting there, or you're walking around the general
Yes.
store, and you're looking, and you're like, God, I know that this is a corporation. I know that they're just trying to like get me over and get me into this sense. But goddamn, if they aren't, it's working, and I am charmed.
See,
and I'm like, and I totally feel you, Chris. Like it's like, you know, as we move, this is something we talk a lot about in the stores. Like as all this, like, you know, as you can imagine, like small businesses get pushed out, and all we have left is these chain places. It's like compared to like fucking Kohl's or something. At least this does. At least they're trying. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
And it
Like,
makes you feel some sort
I
of way.
like seeing the old candies, man.
I think that
We got
for me, it's
Yes.
not. It never felt growing up and then, you know, being an adult. It never felt like a facsimile of anything else. It felt like Cracker Barrel is this specific weird thing.
yeah.
That is its own thing that I now have nostalgia for, because it didn't feel similar to anything else, because it is so bizarre.
Where did you grow up, Jesse?
I grew up in Maryland, but I had family in the South as well. And I saw a lot of what you would consider like deep Southern stuff, and it was nothing like.
I mean, I get you. I
Cracker
think
Barrel.
that. Well, I don't know. I mean, I think they are going for. There are things about Cracker
They're
Barrel
going for a
that are
pastiche.
Cracker Barrel,
Yeah.
and that like not every Southern diner has 100 rocking chairs outside. And part of when you go to Cracker Barrel is I'm like, oh, that's fun. The rocking chairs are there.
You
like
get
that's
to sit in the rocking chairs.
Yes,
You
yeah,
play
yeah,
the
yeah.
big checkers.
yes, exactly. You play
Yeah.
the big checkers. I mean, it's
A big part of Cracker Barrel is waiting to go inside of the Cracker Barrel,
yeah.
right?
And
Waiting
then
to
can
have
I
your
say
name
too,
called.
Like if everyone listening or watching, it's 2025 right now.
Video
Like
podcast.
think about this.
Video
You park-
podcasts are taking over, Chris.
Oh, listen, you need a video element. They've been telling me for Beautiful Anonymous,
I'm
get your
telling
video
you,
element
get you.
happening.
Get
It
it.
Or you'll
has
die on the
to.
vine,
It
motherfucker.
has
gotta
to.
do
You gotta do, Chris.
You park the car on the side of some highway. You walk past the rocking chairs, and everyone who knows Cracker Barrel knows. You open the doors. To your left is a series of cash registers with vintage candies in front.
That's right.
There will be a small display of merch, including some t-shirts, usually featuring a character like Sonic the Hedgehog, maybe Super Mario, just before the beginning of that counter.
Yes.
Directly ahead of you, if you were to walk straight, you would walk into a giant circular table full of more old school candies. It might involve a big, giant, oversized Reese's peanut butter cup that weighs 5 pounds. It
Yes.
might involve Mallow cups. It will
Mallow
involve some
cups.
things
You know-
that remind you of 50s nostalgia.
You know what they got there? They got the sticks. They got
Chico
a
stick.
shit. No.
They got Chico sticks. They got
they got-
Mary Jane's.
They
Mary
got
Jane.
tons of the. This is a stick of candy.
Like a rock candy stick?
No, it's like a
the
hard
peppermint
candy.
sticks.
It's like a hard candy
Oh,
that's
sure.
like this is
Yeah.
strawberry watermelon because
Yeah, yeah.
they got all the little like cans. Now, this wasn't there when we went because maybe it's past. They used to have a big selection of honeys in the little plastic tubes.
Yes.
Do you remember
Oh,
this?
the little
The
snack
honey
honeys.
tubes.
Yes.
Now that is
Ooh.
such a passe. I understand why they don't give that to kids anymore because I didn't even like it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But it is just such a weird thing that it's like this is so unique to Cracker
it
Barrel. or I-
represents something.
yeah.
Behind the candy table will be one of my favorite things. The back wall features a large selection of glass bottle cane sugar regional soda brands.
And I knew that I was like, we should
thought
bring
about
this up.
you.
We
when
should bring
saw
this
it.
up
Yeah.
if he doesn't bring it up, but I'm glad that you did.
Yeah.
I'm a
we saw it.
massive
And I was
fan
like,
of-
this is. Yes, please. No,
I
this
love
is-
soda. There was a
Yeah.
stretch where I can, without, and this is a dumb thing to say about myself, and I'm not trying to flex in any way. There was a stretch where I probably had one of the best collections of soda in the United States.
Wow.
And I had so much soda that my wife, after the second move, was like, we can never ask movers to carry giant crates of glass and liquid again. And I had to just eventually drink all the soda.
Well, one thing.
But I
well,
love
one
that.
thing.
And then just to the right of that will be the bathrooms. And that's everywhere in America.
Yeah.
That is an extraordinarily dependable physical walkthrough of every Cracker Barrel. And then, of course, to your right, t-shirts, tchotchkes,
Tchotchkes.
Americana bullshit,
yeah.
Harley Davidson
decoration.
themed
Home
nonsense,
decoration.
local
Harley
sports
Davidson-
bullshit.
Happy Hearth Home signs like in this house we respect
Toy corner.
Meemaw, you
Toy
know?
corner.
Yeah.
Christmas ornaments. In
a huge
August.
Christmas display, huge October or Halloween display,
Yeah.
both separate tables.
Can I
And
can I
they
interrupt?
swell
not to-
in October and December, but they're always
They're always
have
there.
a
They're
presence.
always
They
there.
always have some Halloween stuff. And I just want to say, Chris, if you are looking for a place to keep your glass bottles and stuff, you can always keep it rolling around on the floor of your fucking car.
Well, those aren't
so that it
bottles, those are
explodes.
glasses.
Great
Those
call.
are glasses.
Great call.
Those are
One-
glasses.
One
You
thing
can
that I
treat them like
noticed.
goddamn projectiles because you
Yeah,
fucking hate
that's
them.
right.
Well,
you
I'll
can
tell
put
you
them
what,
on the
somebody
fucking
comes up
dash
to
in
me-
front of your
somebody comes
forehead.
up to me and
You
if
pray
they
for
got
pain.
that road rage everyone's talking about, I'm
pray
pick
for
that
pain.
up. I can whip a glass bottle
Don't
faster than
pretend
you
these
can
are about
fucking-
other people. These are about you. Luke.
I know. I
These are
love
about
them.
you.
Yes, Pat.
One thing that I noticed is that it's like they are experts at walking a political line in there where it's like
Yes.
it's obviously it is political in the sense that like every like white America hegemonic thing is political. Like they have a flag carrier that's like
That
shaped
thing
like
that
a
we
soldier.
saw, we saw
But there's
like
there's
yeah.
no blue lives stuff. There's
No,
like there's
no.
it never
Yeah,
ever
yeah.
like crosses over to like, well, I am actively thinking about politics. It is
Yes.
just like this is a brain scan of
Yes.
what you look
Yes.
like if you have just like incorporated the lessons.
It's
that this country
Americana.
teaches you.
It's
Yeah.
Americana, like in sort of like a like pan way, as opposed
Yeah.
to a specific.
And it's,
yeah.
And it's all the stuff that is difficult to object to for anybody.
Yeah.
Like the flag holder
It's-
where it's like, well, support the troops, right?
It's my biggest problem with this whole controversy over the logo, which was they tried to do a rebrand, severely underestimating. You could see none of us spoke about this before, and then all of us said road trips and familiarity. That's
Yeah.
what Cracker Barrel. You don't change the logo on something where the whole thing is. If you're driving for 3 hours, this place feels familiar to you.
Familiar and
That's-
super specific too.
But
Yeah.
it immediately, the people who jumped on it were like, well, now they're wokeifying Cracker Barrel. And it's
Yeah.
like, I wish that's not what we're mad about. I wish it was like, hey, your whole brand is this feels familiar to you.
Yes.
By definition, we don't want that changed because now they have bumped it a little too far to the right. Whereas I think you guys are right. Up until recent history, Cracker Barrel felt a lot like I'm sitting at a Thanksgiving dinner table with my uncle, and I know he has some opinions I don't like, but
we
we're
just
all
don't need to engage
Yes.
with it.
Yeah.
too fucking kind to each other to engage.
Yes.
Cracker
Yeah.
Barrel almost represented civil discourse in some
and
way.
then,
Wow,
and then
that's
these,
kinda
these
beautiful.
ghouls have co-opted this beautiful
ghouls.
American.
Calm down. Chill.
Sorry,
Hold my hand.
I'm all good.
They're mad that the whole logo thing politicized Cracker Barrel, but I would actually argue that it's more disappointing. I liked feeling like Cracker Barrel was like my,
It was a way to
Uncle who's-
engage with that side of things
without feeling
Yeah.
like
without feeling
you're-
guilty
yes,
about it or
yes, yeah.
like
And they can teach all of us. Like,
Yeah.
if we all behaved the way that Cracker Barrel presents this bullshit of like,
Yeah.
there's too many American flags, but they're not blue, guys. And like,
Yeah.
No.
we all
And
know
it's
where we
like-
stand with each other,
No.
but we're gonna fucking hang out.
And
Yeah,
you're sitting
I'm going
in the
to Cracker Barrel. I
and
don't need to object to everything
You're-
in here to make
You
a
are
point.
looking at the oldest like white couple you've ever seen, and you know that they don't love what's happening to their neighborhood, and you wish they thought differently, but you think maybe
You walk
if
in-
I sit at this Cracker Barrel long enough, well, maybe we all just might get together and be a little bit happier in the end.
Yeah. Yeah. Can we talk more
In the
about
store.
sodas?
In the
Oh,
store.
we can talk
In
about
the store.
sodas,
Correct.
For
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
More about the sodas. Now, I have this odd sense memory of I was listening to some podcast. This was years ago, Chris,
Yeah.
that you were on, and you mentioned at some point calling like a South American grape soda factory to try to track
Oh.
down a grape soda that was out of
So
print.
I had a podcast that very few people listened to, but the ones who did loved it. It was called Fizzy Boys, and it's me and Don Finelli talking about sodas. I actually think if we stuck with it, we fucked up. It could have been good. But there's a non-carbonated soft drink called Delaware Punch. Pennsylvania Punch, the Natrona Bottling Works makes a tribute to it. Delaware Punch was bought out and shut down by Coca-Cola, but they still make it just for a few areas of Louisiana. It became my great white whale to find it. I went and drank it. It was with Joe Firestone. I made her wander through a legitimately very dangerous stretch of New Orleans with me and Joe Firestone wandering down what were becoming visibly dangerous areas of New Orleans, going to different shops. Finally found Delaware Punch, drank it, and Joe was like, I'm on this quest with you. How do you like it? I said, this drink is bad. But then I found out that at a certain point, the American government outlawed a certain food coloring that had been part of the original formula of Delaware Punch, and that there is
Why'd they
one
outlaw it?
bottling plant in Guatemala that still makes it with the original food coloring because they don't have to play by American rules.
Yeah, we all know, and I think all of us could agree. Whatever was in that food coloring, they should let us still be able to drink it.
Yeah.
Let us
what
drink
was
that.
wrong with
Let
it?
us drink that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
so
make me take vaccines, but I can't even choose my own food
I
color.
can't even have the poison color that comes from beetle blood. Come on, man.
The Guatemalans get everything.
My kid has to get measles vaccines for the good of everybody, and I can't treat chemicals you deem dangerous. But I there was a stretch where I was very serious. I never did it. It's the type of thing I used to do. So maybe this reflects an area of my life where I was growing up, or maybe getting less interesting. But I did have a plan to fly to Guatemala stay, like get there as early in the morning as possible and commit to leaving that night and spending my entire time just trying to find the original formula of Delaware Punch while I had the full knowledge that it's a drink I do not enjoy.
Right. And
It's
and
so-
I would say from an outside perspective, I don't really think of the food coloring as being the thing that could
No.
possibly be the thing that fixes
It might
beverage
have a
either.
slight impact, but it wouldn't fix
Can't
it.
imagine it.
I love the idea.
There was no part of me that thought I would like it more
Right.
if the color was slightly different. No part of me.
There's something very funny about people in Guatemala being like, "Oh, this exotic flavor from Delaware, the most
Well,
beautiful
no, it's actually
land
it's
of
na-
culinary wonders."
It's not named after the state of Delaware. It's named after the Delaware grape. It's a type of grape.
Oh,
This is why it was very popular in Louisiana. It was never, to my knowledge, it wasn't particularly popular in Delaware. It was named for the type of grape used for the flavoring.
Wow.
the
how would
Delaware grape.
you rank the sodas at Cracker Barrel for a soda head like yourself? Do you look at this and and be like, actually, that's bullshit. That's like
Cracker
common
Barrel's
stuff.
bringing the heat. Cracker Barrel.
They're bringing the heat?
There are
Okay.
well, because there is when you are a soda person, a soda head, as you say. One thing that starts to happen is you start to develop a small network of stores where you can dependably find good shit.
Yeah.
And like there was a stretch where when people who were other soda heads came to New York, they would reach out to me to see my current spots.
Right.
And vice versa. I would go to other cities. And in Los Angeles, by the way, you have
I love
Galco's
this.
supermarket.
Galco's.
I love
I need.
Galco's-
you guys haven't been there, have you?
Galco's,
Oh.
no.
I need to take them
It's the
to
best
Galco's.
place in
It's
Los
it is
Angeles.
it is quite literally amazing. It's a
It's a
soda
special,
drinker's
special
heaven.
place.
Yes.
It's
yeah.
like it's the closest to real life Willy Wonka you will ever find, and
Yeah.
none of it is engineered to be that. It just by happenstance, this grocery store became overrun by soda. It's fucking awesome. I
Yeah.
love it.
It,
Shout
I
out
actually would
to-
say is what to the Cracker Barrel General Store is copying. Like it is like that
Yes.
feeling because there's a bunch of old
Yes.
candy. There's this like deli. It sells some drinks too, but it's like all this stuff where it's like they trade in kitsch. I think it's
And regionalism, this
and
like small
regionalism.
regionalism
Yes.
pride. So
Yeah.
effectively what I'm saying is Cracker Barrel, what would the equivalent be? Like anybody who's a record collector has
Yeah, that's kind of the
like
parallel I was
have
thinking
your
of.
like every record collector probably knows like there's some store that I can drive to and there's a guy who's had this store since the early 70s and he's always got cool shit and he's down to talk and it's sort of intimidating. Like Cracker Barrel's not that, but Cracker Barrel's is Amoeba Records. Like
Yeah.
Amoeba's great. Everyone knows about it. It's
Sure.
sort of a touristy stop in LA.
Yeah. But it's gonna
Um,
have the shit.
but it's
like
like
it will
gonna
have
have the
stuff
good
you
shit.
want.
I want-
yeah.
I want the Louder Than Bombs LP.
Yeah.
They're gonna have it.
They
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
selling records at Cracker Barrel.
They were.
Yes.
What,
Wait,
of
they
what?
were?
What?
So I took
How
note.
did I miss this?
The only
It's
two-
weird early New York hardcore. It's very incongruous. Youth of Today, Gorilla
That's crazy.
Biscuits, like
Yeah.
real
Mhm. And a lot of
real
weird
crazy-
Boston hardcore in there where you're like,
Yeah,
I don't
you're
know if we
like,
should listen to
Earth
these guys,
Crisis,
Wow.
all that
Uh,
weird Krishna core stuff, like a lot of weirdly aggressive. It's
But
like,
that's
here's
what they
your American
want.
And a
flag.
lot of Ralphie May records too. A lot of
well, that feels like it could actually be. True.
okay,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
is
yeah,
actually
yeah.
congruous. That's
It
some of
was-
the most congruous stuff I can think of.
What was it, Pat?
It
Yeah.
was Creedence
Boom.
Creedence Clearwater Revival, which is not surprising, and
Wanna-
Marvin
why do
Gaye,
you
What's
gotta do
Going
Cracker
On,
Barrel?
which was a little surprising.
Now,
No,
is
that
that
tracks
not
to
is
me.
that not like exactly though? They're like
yeah,
it's America.
Yeah.
So I was doing
That
some
tracks to me.
research on Cracker Barrel, and they do have a big tie to music, and that they were a sponsor of the Grand Ole Opry for many. Like they were the first corporate sponsor of the Grand Ole Opry in Tennessee. They put out they produced a Dolly Parton collab album with someone else. That one of the songs on which won a Grammy.
MF Doom. This was
It was MF Doom
This
and
was-
Dolly Parton. That's right. And he didn't even show up. That he's so famous for that.
Yeah.
No, but it's like they weirdly do have a I think it's just because the corporate overlords of it or the owners are just like country music heads. But there is a weird country music Cracker Barrel connect.
And but again, would you guys not agree? Like, it doesn't cross over into this new.
into this pop
It's
country
the part
kind
of you
like,
that's like, if you
like-
are an American and you like music, You like Credence?
No,
like
that's why Marvin Gaye
And
is
Marvin
there.
Gaye.
Because Marvin
Yeah,
Gaye
yeah.
is old enough as to have entered into this like general cultural understanding. Everybody knows that What's Going On is a good album. Everyone knows that Marvin Gaye is good.
But they're not crossing over into that like, I know I'm an American, at least I'm free.
Yeah,
like, they're
it's
not
not
crossing
Toby
over
Keith.
into those fucking
Yeah, exactly.
guys.
It's not exactly. It's like it's not exactly.
It rides the line, and to be fair, it's riding the line not out of the goodness of its heart,
No, because
but
it wants to maximize.
because it benefits out of
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
But you know, it ends up with
But
something
in these
that is
divided times,
good. Get away from the mic. Don't get that close to the mic.
okay.
He was just about to say something that could have really changed everybody's.
No, you know what's so
We don't do that
interesting,
on this
Chris?
podcast.
I wasn't too. I just was
Yeah.
going to say, and these divided
It
times.
really felt like you were ramping
know.
up something
I know.
special and got
I know.
interrupted.
And these divided times.
In these dividing times. In these dividing times.
I also love this about Cracker Barrel is I can go. So again, to close out the soda discussion, they have good shit. Dr. Enough is hard to find. You can always find it at Cracker Barrel. They almost always have the big jugs of Virgil's,
Those are so good.
God, I
the
love
Bavarian
Virgil's.
Nutmeg Special Edition, which I'm on record saying I think that's the best root beer, period.
Yeah, oh, that's
you
a
have to
good
get it very, very
place to do
cold.
that.
But
I
it's
was
the
going to
best.
ask if I was going to pick, if we were going to like, if you had one soda where you're like, this is a soda you haven't had, what should you get? And I guess specifically I'm thinking, because they will probably have it at Galco's, is there a soda that you're like, you could tell our listeners, you've got to try this?
And non-Cracker Barrel.
Just in
shelf-wise?
general. Just in
In
general.
general,
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm just
yeah.
curious.
It's Mr. Cucumber. Mr. Cucumber.
Okay.
It's the absolute pinnacle of drinks. It's
Is
the-
it
Mr. Cucumber.
Is it cucumber flavored?
It's a cucumbered flavor soda, which a lot of people immediately think of like cucumber water or seltzer,
Yeah.
but no, it is full on a soda. It's a fizzy, sugary drink. I can't imagine a better drink to drink outside on a hot summer day than a bottle of Mr. Cucumber. You can find it in the small green bottles very rarely in different parts of the country. At Galco's, they generally also had it in the original bottles, which were kind of more big and jug shaped, which are even better.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not, I'm a teetotaler. I've been sober for 20 something years now, but I've also had friends tell me that it's an incredible mixer.
I bet.
Mr. Cucumber is an extraordinarily special soda. It's bottled in Florida. It's super hard to find. And I'm really jealous of people who have easy access to Galco's. I've never had any burning desire to live in Los Angeles for the entertainment industry. I have felt like if I ever moved to Los Angeles, it would be purely
For
to be able to
Galco,
You have
shop
to be
regularly at
closer
Galco's.
to your beloved
Maybe
Galco's, yeah.
maybe we will do after we record today. We'll take a trip because they also have pretty good Italian
Galco's
sandwiches
would
on
go
top of
crazy,
everything
yeah.
else. I think their deli is pretty
I
good.
could have picked Galco's. I thought it had to be a chain.
No, you can.
It does have to be a
It
chain.
does have to be a chain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
You can't
does?
pick- You also did Galco's.
Is Galco's
on
a chain,
Doughboys.
or
I
is
mean,
it
doesn't
one
that feel
place?
like if the whole point of this podcast is we're trying to be like, actually, this isn't Doughboys, even by it almost entirely looks like it in every way. We can't have Chris Gethard come on and do the same place.
Yeah.
you know.
I love it
mean,
so much though.
I know,
But
It's great.
I mean, another thing I want to say about Cracker Barrel is, again, it's a road trip place.
Yes.
Yes.
I
It's
don't
a-
ever.
It's a salve on every road trip. It's like it turns a 6-hour drive into a delightful 8-hour
Yes.
day.
Yes.
I rue the day that I live walking distance to a
I
Cracker Barrel.
I mean that it means that you're
If I
like
was walking to a Cracker Barrel, yeah, I would get nothing
I'm
out
a
of it.
city kid, you know. If I ever end up living that close to a Cracker Barrel, I know something. I've taken a different trajectory in my life than I ever thought possible.
Ever. If I ever live walking distance to a Cracker Barrel, many, many, many fundamental aspects of my life have changed.
I mean, you'd
Yes.
have to live like under an overpass or something to
You'd have
live
to-
within walking
you know,
distance of a
it's
Cracker
like when
Barrel.
they build. It's like when they build like a weird, like sort of like new apartment building, like where two big highways intermeet, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, you guys want this to be a city, but it's like no one wants to live here. This is a
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
Do you know, Chris? I'm sure you've been through it. Breezewood in Pennsylvania.
Breezewood, I don't think I have.
It's
And
where
I've crossed Pennsylvania
I-90
hundreds of times.
It's where I-90 meets
I-80?
I think so. I think
Oh, then I
I-80
have.
and I-80 and another one, and it's a place that exists fully because it's two highways meeting, and there's something incredibly American about it. I'm sure there's a Cracker Barrel there. There's like a Sheetz there. and there's also apartment buildings weirdly there. I think for the people that work at the place, but I'm like, this is the most dystopian version of like what America could be.
Can I talk about one specific Cracker Barrel? And I can't remember exactly where it is. I think it might be near a place called New Freedom, close to where I live. I might be getting the place wrong. New Freedom, I think of it because it is the definition of Nowheresville. It is just nobody lives there. It's got a population of like 500. And it's just not very close to, I guess, what you might call derisively civilization, right? But it has a Cracker Barrel there. And I'm like, that is an experience that if I was a kid living in New Freedom or anywhere else that's totally out of the way of everywhere, that's an experience that I can imagine enjoying and like, okay, it's Sunday, we're going to Cracker Barrel again.
Yeah.
Like, I would love that.
Could make it a normal
I would love
spot.
that. We haven't talked yet about the toys.
Oh, before we move on, sorry.
Yes.
I was
Pat.
On the topic of road trips and the segment that Luke, you always want to remember to do, how were the bathrooms?
Thank you so
I
much.
thought the bathrooms
Pat.
were
And
good.
This is something
I thought
I've
the
been-
bathrooms
I've
were
really,
good.
The bathrooms were good. They were clean.
Dependable.
They know they are a place that understands, unlike a gas station on a road trip, which is also a high use thing that they are not taking care of usually. Cracker Barrel is they know that those things are getting used.
I disagree that I think the bathrooms at big chain gas stations
Sure.
are now a priority.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's the
rest,
Buc-ee's
it's a
effect.
point. It's a
That's
rest.
the Buc-ee's effect.
Exactly. It's a rest stop versus a
Buc-ee's,
gas station.
It's
I think
Buc-ee's,
is
it's
what we're
Sheetz,
talking
it's Wawa.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
of them
Well,
are now
Buc-ee's had a
prioritizing
stated
the-
goal. Do you know Buc-ee's original business model?
What was it?
If you look up the history of Buc-ee's, which I have read up a lot on Buc-ee's, these are the things that matter to me. Their original founder was like, the starting point of getting people to stop is we will always have the cleanest bathrooms you will find alongside highways.
And I think that's
Buc-ee's changed
I think
the
that's
game.
And that's
Buc-ee's now has like the biggest stores.
It's like and everyone I've never met someone who isn't immediately like Buc-ee's is awesome.
Buc-ee's
if I
is-
see a Buc-ee's, I'm
Buc-ee's is
stopping.
one of the places where people have asked us to go and go out of our way and take a road trip specifically just
And
to
I
go to
would.
Buc-ee's. And we have discussed
Yes,
actually doing
I
it.
would.
I think that there are some East Coast places and some other
Sheetz.
like if
I
there
love
was if we
Sheetz.
were to
I've got
do
a lot of fondness.
if
for
we were to
Sheetz.
do an East Coast like tour where it's like we're doing 4 stores on the East Coast, I would be like Wawa, Sheetz, Buc-ee's, something else.
Quick check. But Buc-ee's is more of a southern thing. Buc-ee's is more Texas, Oklahoma.
It's in the Ozarks. You could
Yeah,
probably
I
you
went-
could probably
I feel- isn't
loop
there
it
that
into
giant- There's
It's
that
spread.
giant
It's a
one in
Texas thing,
Iowa.
ultimately.
Yes,
Yes,
yeah.
but
There's
you
a
could
giant
start it
one
as
in
a Texas
Iowa, I believe.
But I'll put
You could
this out
loop it
here.
in.
Okay. Couple thoughts on this. One, I think Cracker Barrel has always quietly provided free use restrooms at a very clean, high quality to travelers. They don't expect you to shop or eat there. They know
Yes.
some people are just going to stop in for a dependable bathroom. That's solid behavior. That's treating people right. And on top of it, I also think Buc-ee's is shouting to the hilltops about their clean bathrooms. Great business model, help build them. There's something classier about Cracker Barrel. Just kind of Cracker Barrel been doing that for a
Yeah,
while.
I almost feel like Buc-ee's and some other places in their attempt to serve food and good food and everything like that, they're almost chasing Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
As a nice place to stop and be like, this is a nice place that we're going to spend 45 minutes instead of driving.
I went to a Buc-ee's and I was with my friend Franco Danger, great comic. We were on the road. First time we both went to a Buc-ee's, and I believe I described it as it's like a Wawa had a baby with a Walmart.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
that's,
think
that's what it looks
Buc-ee's-
like from the outside.
And there's a part of me that wanted to hate Buc-ee's, but I did inherently love Buc-ee's. And even people who want to start rolling their eyes at all the Buc-ee's hype, the thing that makes it hardest is that in all of their stores, they have a very large sign that posts, here's all of our available positions we're hiring for. Here is on the sign the rates that we pay, the benefits you get.
Yeah.
And
And
they're
where
very open with
And
trying
where
to
the
be
Buc-ee's are, they're pretty good rates.
Yeah.
yeah, they offer extraordinarily competitive rates to people, and they're very open about their financials
Yeah.
in a way that you go, that this is a working class place that's a little ridiculous, but that's having the back of the people who work there. That's having the back of the workers.
It's kind of like Costco in that sense, where it's like, yes, this is a giant corporation, obviously, but it's like, well, if it's going to be, at least it seems to run it in such a way with like dignity for the people that work there.
How do you guys feel about the Costco thing that's being rumored, where they're building like apartments above the Costco for Costco workers to live in? How do you feel about that?
That's the company store. Fuck that.
Yeah,
man.
that's literally
The union card carrying person in me goes, anything where a company provides housing puts workers at a disadvantage. And I know this is a comedy podcast, and maybe you don't want me going on a fucking classist rant right here, but fuck the company store. These people are coming at us, and general strike is coming, and I can't wait to be on the front lines throwing fucking cinder blocks.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I 100% agree. Yeah.
But also Costco, if you want to advertise with us ever, obviously we're a huge fan.
Yeah.
You did score very highly on the Nick Weiger episode, so obviously we're a huge fan of you, Costco. So we don't want to.
I agree with you, Chris. But I will, the day that someone asks me to throw a cinder block through a Costco window is the day I take my own life.
A guy walks up to me. A leftist walks up to me. One of these leftists.
What are these?
And they walk up to me and they're holding.
But only about Costco. Everything else, I'm fine.
And they're holding the cinder block and they say you have to throw it or you're not a true leftist. I slit my fucking.
And then you
blow my
brains
out.
You don't use a gun. You jump in your car. You drive 10 miles an hour into a telephone pole, at which point 9 glasses
explode into your face.
And they slit my jugular vein. They slit both arteries on my legs.
And they skin your head, and then you're just a skeleton, like skull head on a normal body.
And then I become
Cracker
a super
Barrel.
villain.
One thing I love about them.
Yeah.
When I am at a Cracker Barrel, it means I'm on a long road trip.
Yes.
When I'm on a long road trip, it means I'm away from my son.
Yeah.
When I'm away from my son, it means I need to bring home toys to purchase
we were
his
just
love
talking.
back.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the toys.
I have to buy his love back.
Yeah.
He's been with mom for days.
Yeah.
He's
And
gonna
he
like.
hates mom.
I'm not kidding. Like, for any touring artist out there, the romance of touring really goes away when your toddler looks you in the eye and says, "Daddy, why do you leave so much?" Like,
God.
it really takes it out of you.
Christ.
And you go, well, it's
Jesus.
how we pay for our fucking house, dude.
Yeah.
But it helps a lot.
Something
when you
that
go, I couldn't find anything in the city I was in, but a Cracker Barrel is always going to have some bullshit. And they do a pretty good job of, like, you can always find the vintagey stuff. I can always find a yo-yo, a kazoo, a whoopee cushion. You're always going to find some of those.
Like
but you also are going to find some Minecraft
There's a
bullshit.
Pokemon. There was a Pokemon.
You're going to find
toy,
Pokemon bullshit.
and you're like, I 100%. And you're like, is my kid going to respond to, like, you could play the little solitaire peg game? No, he wants or he wants a big ass gummy worm.
Yeah.
You know, and they're going to
also
provide
They also have, and this is going with the trends because this is very popular with kids now.
slime.
Slime.
They had a lot of slime.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which I hadn't been to one in a while. Whole wall of slime.
I'd like to read out some of the slime products that I found just on the side. This is called Mountain Goo. It's labeled as watery compound, and it says amazingly scented, not a food product but a fun squishy experience.
Boom.
And then next to it had Goopa Cola, which was good. And then they had peanut butter scented Goopy, which is written like it's supposed to say Jiffy.
Yeah, it was all these like Mountain Dew goo. Like it was all.
I don't know. All the
yeah.
slimes were like, this is like slime, but we made it look like peanut butter, or we made it look like
Nasty.
Nutella.
I don't like it.
or
I gotta
something.
I'm
admit.
just telling you, though. I know you don't like it, Luke. You're not the target demo
Yeah.
for this. If I've been traveling to do sad stand-up in fucking Dayton, Ohio or somewhere,
Yeah.
which is actually a city I like. I enjoyed Dayton,
Yeah.
but point stands. And my kid, I know, doesn't love me as much as he did before I left because I've been gone. And I bring home peanut butter goopy. I am back in.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
in.
yeah.
You get peanut butter goopy?
It's the
We're
great
back,
reset.
baby.
Peanut butter Goopy, that's a great reset.
Wait a minute.
I think a solid 15% of items being sold at Cracker Barrel at any given time are for business traveling dads to repurchase
To
love
find
of their
forgiveness. To
children
find
who are viewing them
forgiveness.
as an increasingly absentee presence in their life. I can
You're
say that
telling
from
me
experience.
though it's not. Hold on. Let me just get this straight. You're telling me that the peanut
I'm
butter
getting pushed back on the
slime-
peanut butter goopy section
No,
of the shop.
You're telling me that it's not for 32-year-old men. That's what you're telling me. Because that's news.
Well,
We
you
made-
have a
I-
certain
Luke was
whimsical-
Luke was
I do.
Luke,
I have a certain whimsy about me.
Luke
Thank
had
you.
the
Not enough
peanut
people
butter.
are saying
Luke
that.
was trying to figure
Well,
out.
I was trying to fucking eat it, and then,
He was-
and then Jesse rips it out of my hand and says, "This is not a food product." Then why does it look like peanut butter, dude?
I had given you 10 or 15 minutes with it to figure it out.
And
then you started trying to eat it, and that's
Well,
when I ripped
it
it away.
smelled so
I
good.
gave you time with it.
Even if you taste it, it also taste. I mean, it doesn't. If something smell. I don't know if you knew this.
Smell is
Chris,
most of
Jesse,
taste.
Pat. Smell is mostly taste. So when you smell it, it is often the case that when you put it in your mouth, it will taste as if.
Wouldn't
it
you
smells.
agree?
Wouldn't you agree, Chris? Did you
I
follow
don't
that?
wanna
Hello,
wade-
Chris?
I don't want to wade into something that's controversial.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. No, that makes sense. Well,
They also had a bunch of fucking squishmallows.
yeah, kids love squishmallows.
They love them.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing that they sold, because they sold a bunch of home goods. I'm not sure how much we can say about them because it's all kitschy stuff that is really felt
we're
like
getting in
instant
trouble?
garbage. No, I'm just saying like the stuff that you would get, like the salt and pepper shakers or.
But why can't
anything-
we talk about them? Are we going to get in trouble?
No, we're not going to get in trouble. I'm just like, I don't know that there's much to
Oh,
say
okay,
about
okay.
them. Other than, they're kitschy.
get
They
in
could be fun, but they're really cheap and like, I think they're instant garbage. I can't imagine someone buying those and like them being a part of your life for a. I'm using these salt and pepper shakers every day. I can't imagine that.
Oh. Sorry, I'm all over the place. Please, Jesse, go ahead. I just I have a very specific kind of brain, much like a child's. Please.
I wanted to talk. They did
Cut that
have.
part
They
out.
had Halloween costumes at Cracker Barrel, which was strange to me. As just imagining purchasing a Halloween costume there was like that is not an impulse purchase. It's not a road trip purchase.
But a kid would go insane and see it and be like, I want to wear the princess costume in the car. Because I was thinking about this. I was like, I
think so?
actually can see this like working, so to speak,
Kids love costumes, and
Yes.
if you're 4 hours in to a 7 or 8 hour road trip, and your kid is like, I think I want to dress up as Spider-Man for the rest of this road trip. Just as a
Sure.
father, I
Yeah.
guarantee you're gonna go. It looks like you just scored a fucking Spider-Man outfit.
Because you would, because
Yeah.
that will, you want to placate as much as you
I-
possibly can.
Well, not
what
just
I-
placate, but also like, well, this I guess is the road trip you'll remember forever as being Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's,
this will
that's
be the
beautiful, too.
Spider-Man road trip. The grandparents are gonna love the pics on that. They're gonna go,
Yeah.
"Where'd you get that?" We're gonna go, "The little bastard slot at the Cracker Barrel." Like
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
business model on that. And again, yeah, like if this kid's at a tipping point of grumpiness, and I'm sensing grumpiness, and
This
what
could
I need
change
to
the
do,
day.
spend what's that going to be, a $25 to $30 item right there on a.
I didn't check. I should have checked the prices, but
I'll purchase that Spider-Man outfit to get through that road trip.
That's
No
Sal.
problem. I also
Yeah.
want to thank you for bringing up Halloween because you've reminded me that I need to go to my favorite Halloween website to buy more ridiculous shit for my lawn this year. So
Are
thank
you a
for
big
that.
Halloween lawn guy? Are you got the big ass skeleton?
I don't got the big ass skeleton. I got a 15-foot tall devil with eyes that light up when you walk
oh
past.
shit!
I got a ghost that swings a lantern at you if you walk too close to it.
Dang.
I got the house in my when we moved in 2020, and all our neighbors told us it was a big Halloween neighborhood and people go big. And I'm a big Halloween guy. I used to work at a magazine about ghosts in New Jersey, and I actually just started working with them again. Weird New Jersey magazine. It's great.
Cool.
And I was like, well, if this is a big Halloween neighborhood, I'm going to go hard as hell. And we didn't really get to know anybody in 2020, obviously. It was very passing conversations. And then Halloween came and I realized my neighbors do go big, but they have like a big light up Slimer
Right.
or like the big spider web that goes from your front door all the way down to the lawn. And then here I am with straight up like latex zombie dead babies. And
Right.
everybody thought
Yeah.
I was a fucking creep that first year.
Definitely.
That's wild.
Now they
though.
love it.
That's why
But that
I feel.
first year.
I
they
feel
were
like,
like,
there's.
oh, and I really like the way you said that, Chris, too, because even though you were saying like that you were making that story about how they were kind of right, you still talked about their Slimer and their spiderweb with such obvious disdain in your voice compared to what you
Yeah.
do that it was so clear that you still were like, well, they're wrong. And
Yeah.
then they saw the error of their ways.
yeah.
My lawn display, I can say with no bluster, traumatizes some children. And I am proud of that.
no,
It's Halloween.
kids should be scared. Kids should
Yeah.
get scared sometimes, and I think that that's good. And I think back to when I was a kid and moments when I was really scared of stuff.
and it was positive.
I got
I
scared
think of it very positively.
by somebody on their porch in a gorilla costume one year.
That
as a
happened to
kid.
me too.
Still, my favorite Halloween memory is running all the way home from the gorilla.
There was
who,
one house in
jumped
my
at me.
childhood neighborhood where a guy would just put on a gorilla costume every single year and sprint after children.
That's
which
sick.
is
That's
which
sick.
I don't think would be acceptable today. I don't think. Maybe I mean the neighborhood was pretty close knit back then, so maybe it would be. But that was it. And he wouldn't do anything to the kids, but the kids would always run away. So he would just sort of like sprint around and run on all fours in this yard after kids.
I like that.
It was awesome.
Chris,
We
I had
gotta
a
bring
question.
that shit
we gotta
back,
bring that. We
man.
gotta bring back scaring kids. We gotta bring back. Never mind.
This is small town
Chris,
stuff.
Chris, did people still trick or treat in your neighborhood, or have they switched completely over to the trunk or treat?
No, there is a trunk and treat at the local school.
Yeah.
We do attend that as well, but I'm happy to tell you, my neighborhood's a very walkable neighborhood in a largely unwalkable area. So we get people from all over,
That's
and we
sick.
get on average close to 200 people.
Wow!
Whoa!
That
That's
makes me
doors.
so
sick.
happy because I have that, and it
Um,
does feel a little bit like this is one of the first old man opinions I'm truly coming into, which is I am sad for children that do not have the experience of walking
we-
through their neighborhood, meeting all their neighbors, and getting the candy.
We talked about trunk or treat on a bonus episode,
Right.
And I hope that you left with a more positive opinion than you
yes,
went
because
in.
Jesse.
But-
Yes.
Because it wasn't my experience, but it was my sister's experience to do trunk or treat because we moved and we're in a more rural area where trick or treat didn't make sense. And she has very positive memories of like trunk or treat and meeting everybody and tailgating.
because
in this
you
weird
couldn't
way.
because you were not in any sort of walkable neighborhood because you were in the country.
Because it wasn't. Yeah, it
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah, yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
There was
And-
an older lady in my neighborhood when I grew up. And one year, my friends and I got to her house a little late. She was on the outer edge of the neighborhood. And she was like, guys, I'm out of candy. Who wants a soda? She gave us each a full can of soda.
That's awesome.
And then we sat on her porch with her. And she was an elderly lady. And we drank the sodas. And she was like, how you guys doing? How's school?
Oh.
This and that. And then for the next handful of years that we remained trick-or-treating age, when we got to her house the next year, we were like, oh, no soda this year, or you still got candy? Laughing. She was like, oh, I've been waiting for you guys. And we were her little soda
oh
guys.
my god!
And once a year, and this was not
That's
a person we
incredible.
knew outside of this,
Yeah.
but we'd sit on a porch with this lady on Amos Street. And otherwise, I had no knowledge of her life, never crossed paths with her. But we would sit once a year, drink a soda, thank her, and touch base.
That's incredible.
I love that. I really
love-
legit love that.
Ca-
That's,
I had the thought, and I think this is one of my first moments in my life where I was delivering a moral judgment on others, and I
Yeah,
really had
which
a
is
strong
kinda your thing
ethical.
now.
kind of old.
Kind of my whole personality.
My thing is glasses in my car that can explode like frag grenades, and Jesse's is judgment.
But I remember feeling like an ethical urge to stop something from happening, and I must have been 6, and I was trick-or-treating with other kids, and we went up to one of those houses that the parents weren't home, and it just had a bowl that said, please only take one. And I took one, and I walked away, and my fucking friends dug their grubby little mitts in for a whole handful, and I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Now, I'm gonna tell you something about me because we're learning about each other. I've never once in my entire childhood seen the Take One bowl, and that bowl has been anything but empty after that.
I'm gonna have to agree with Chris here. I'm at the very least I'm going
And
like a grab.
honestly, there's also a part of me that goes, your bowl is now empty, and you might be cleaning up some eggs because we might egg your house for this bullshit. No, and you know what it is? Let me be clear.
That's crazy.
Whoa.
The egging, here's what it is. There was one house in our neighborhood in specific that always put out the bowl and then turned off all the lights, but we could see a TV was on deep in the house. And every year it's like, you're not participating in the basic contract of Halloween.
Mhm.
This is the one day a year where kids get to run rampant and inconvenience adults and be rewarded for it. You get candy for
Yeah.
inconveniencing an adult and disrupting their night.
And looking
You're going to
scary.
leave out a bowl and you're home. If you're at a Halloween party, we're not going to egg your house. You're going to be home and leave out a bowl. Your shit got egged. That's
Also,
fucked up. What you're
It
doing
just doesn't
is
seem
honestly
sporting. It's
fucked
also
up.
I can't imagine something more enjoyable than sitting with a bowl of candy,
drinking a beer
and giving it
and
to
giving-
kids.
and
yeah,
giving
yeah.
well, not the
Oh.
beer,
Oh,
It's-
well, yeah, not the beer.
but just like
Back in the day, well, I don't know.
drinking a beer on your stoop and just handing out
And then you
candy
get to
to
see
kids.
all their costumes, and you like talk to the parents.
It's
You
the
see
best.
I do. I think that's where kind of, and of course there is an element of that with the trunk or treat. I think, but it's like a weird thing that I get romantic about, where I'm like, God, I just like have so many memories of going door to door in my neighborhood. Like those are some of the childhood memories that are the most prominent in my mind. You know,
Yeah,
Of, like
no,
I'd
have-
always go with the same group. My neighbor was an artist, and she always would make like 10 pumpkins in a row that were all beautiful. And it's like I remember that all so clearly.
Yeah, I have extremely positive memories of
Yeah.
that.
My major, I like trunk or treat for what it is. We go to the schools trunk or treat every year. I understand in certain communities where things aren't walkable, it's the alternative. But my real problem is trunk or treat always happens on a school day.
Mm,
It doesn't happen. If it happened on Halloween,
yeah.
if the towns that aren't walkable said, we know kids can't walk, so we're doing trunk or treat
So
on
that-
Halloween, which I'm sure some towns
Yeah,
they
that
do
was
do
that
that.
was not my experience. My experience was it's on Halloween.
It's
Yeah.
on Halloween. See, in my town, it always happens on a Thursday or Friday at the school.
'Cause it's
after
rolled into a
school.
At
school thing.
night,
It's rolled into
is
the
it at
school.
least dark out or getting dark? Because part of the fun of
They
Halloween is it's getting
start it-
dark.
They start it when it's a little bit before dusk, and then by the time it ends, yes, it is dark
Okay.
out.
Okay. All
People
right.
decorate their cars. My problem with it is this is not on Halloween. So does that mean there's some kids in my town where their parents go, you already did the trunk or treat on Thursday, so now tonight
Now
just
that
fucking
sucks.
go
That
to bed?
sucks.
That sucks.
Or
And honestly, any town that pulls that shit can fucking fall into a pit.
fuck you.
Fuck you.
Or can I say one other thing that I hate, because I think this is also an alternative, is, oh, we're not doing trick-or-treating, we're going to a Halloween party, and you can have a little bit of candy. You don't leave with shit. What is the joy of not coming to school lunch and getting to pick one piece of candy every day to bring with you for fucking
If
months?
you're a parent who brings your child to a Halloween party instead of letting them trick or treat,
You need to be
I honestly think
arrested.
Protective services
Yes.
should be sent to your house
Yep.
for an investigation. At
They
minimum.
should destroy
It's
it.
so mean.
They should break up your life. Okay.
Halloween's literally the greatest thing about childhood.
I 100%
It's difficult
agree.
to disagree that a perfect Halloween with trick or treating and the whole nine may be better than a perfect Christmas. It's possible.
I agree.
It's possible.
I will tell you too, because I mean, I'm of the big mind that I think Halloween is not a gift-giving holiday, and inherently the non-gift-giving holidays have less baggage with them at all within families, so they're usually just fun, you know?
Yeah.
Did you guys have any houses in your neighborhood that were rumored to be haunted in some way year round, and then Halloween was your opportunity to face your fears and go walk up to the front door?
No, there were houses in the neighborhood where it's like, oh, the person who lives here is mean.
Yes.
Is mean. And then
And you have to make a choice. Do you go to that house?
And well, the funny thing is, we would continue thinking, oh, that lady's mean. And then every Halloween, we would go up to the house and she would give out candy. And then next year, it'd be like, oh, are we going to go to the mean lady's house?
Yeah.
We had a
It's
house.
like,
We had a house. I have two things. One that I think you guys will actually love. I will say there was a house on Nutwald Avenue where there were year-round rumors that a family of witches lived there, and you never saw anybody coming or going. Going to that house on Halloween, they never opened the door. Very fun. But I just had a Halloween memory that makes me happy every time I think about it, which is that I lived in a town that was pretty spread out, but surprisingly, I lived in the not nice area of town, but the mayor of town lived around the block from me, which was very strange. You would think he would have lived in one of the nicer sections of
in
town.
his palatial estate.
He did have a yard that was 2 times, he had like a double lot yard compared to all the other houses in the neighborhood. Otherwise, he was living in a really normal house. But my friends and I from the neighborhood have often reminisced. You'd go to the mayor's house, Sam Spina, the bulldog, Sammy the Bulldog Spina. This was this man's nickname for years. And he was the mayor of our town my entire childhood. And you'd go to his house, and he was the only motherfucker anyone ever heard of. You'd ring the door. The mayor of the town would open the door personally, and you'd be like, trick or treat. And he'd be like, I got the treats, but I want a trick. He'd be like, what? And he'd make you do a trick to earn the treat.
What?
And you'd enter his home. You'd go inside his living room, And like I remember
What?
doing a somersault on the
What is
rug in his living room, or like friends of mine trying to do like a little dance or something. But the actual mayor of our town would force us to dance for candy in his living room every year,
It's
and we
so
all sort of dreaded it.
it's so crazy because if it was anyone but the mayor, and then your parents were like, "Yeah, the neighbor down the street had us come in and do a trick for him," you would go, "What? Well,
Don't go to that house
Don't go to
again."
that house."
Yeah.
But then, well, it's the mayor. It's Bill. It's the bulldog.
It's Sammy the Bulldog Spina.
Sammy the bulldog.
This
Spina.
guy
I mean-
signed the thing when your grandparents have their 50th wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
He gives the town proclamation to Nancy and Paul Kelly, and congrats for your 50th wedding anniversary.
Congrats.
He came by the Elks Lodge to the party. He didn't just send it in the mail. He stopped by.
He stopped by?
Every 50th wedding
Oh my
celebration, this guy
God.
stops by in person.
It's
He's
pretty
a good man.
awesome.
Yeah.
Now, why am I doing a cartwheel in his living room every
Yeah.
October 3rd or 1st? It feels like a
Well,
real
to earn the
weird
treats.
flex.
To get the treat, obviously.
Also,
Yeah,
doesn't
I
trick or
danced for
treat?
that
I mean, trick doesn't. It doesn't mean like do a trick, right? Doesn't it mean like you get it? It's like a practical joke.
It's like I'm
Give
gonna
me give me
trick you if
candy
you
or I will
don't.
torment you.
Yeah,
Yes.
Give me
trick.
candy or
Do you want a
get some
trick?
shaving cream.
I want to trick. This is me going up to Sammy Bulldog Spina's house. Trick or treat. Oh, I'll take the trick. I'd slap him across the fucking face. You don't talk to me like that on Halloween.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now,
Claw strike.
No
there's
way.
not a fucking world in which you would ever lay hands on Sammy the Bulldog.
Yeah, he seems
This
like
is
he
a
would
North Jersey politician whose nickname
Luke-
is the Bulldog.
Yeah.
Luke
Okay.
loves
Where the
That's fair.
fuck do you get
You're right,
off?
you're right,
Luke
you're right.
loves
Even
talking
pretending
big, and then the
to put
instant
hands on the
the
Bulldog?
instant he looked at the bulldog, he would immediately become physically smaller. Like he would somehow shrink 1 inch and act totally
Yes,
different.
Mr.
Let's-
Bulldog, sir.
We're a little
When
bit
I
late
tell
in the
you, he resembled a bulldog physically. That is not.
Right,
that is why
right.
he had the nickname, because he looked like a
Right,
bulldog.
right.
You're not putting hands on this man, Luke.
Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir. I'm so sorry. I'll do my somersault now.
We're a little late in the game. I think we should get
Final
to our
thoughts.
final thoughts on Cracker Barrel. But before we get to it, here's a little message from our sponsors, and we'll be right back with you with our final thoughts.
Careers at Raytheon.
And hello. And we're back with more stores. Thank you for continuing to listen. Yes, we're back with our final thoughts. Chris, now, you said you had something about Cracker Barrel that we hadn't covered yet.
I think something that would be a real missed opportunity that would get called out on. I haven't researched it fully, but there is also Cracker Barrel cheese.
Yes.
Not related.
Okay.
Not
It's
related.
not related.
Okay,
It's
I-
craft
If we don't
brand.
at least bring this up, people are
I
gonna be
did.
mad.
Can I
actually-
be honest with you? I've been buying that cheese thinking it was Cracker Barrel literally until today. I
The whole-
learned
and-
this morning it was.
Not only are they not related, my understanding is the companies really have a problem with
they
each
have
other.
a problem. They have to call it their to-go items or something are called like CB Foods or something. What were you saying, Jesse?
Hold on. I gotta look something up. But let's
We
get to
can
our
vamp.
final. Well,
We can
I
vamp.
think this is a great opportunity to get to our final thoughts. Chris, the way that we usually do this is we try to answer a couple of questions of our own personal take on it. Those two questions are: should this place continue to exist? This store continue to exist? And do you think it will continue to exist in, let's say, 20 years, somewhere down the line? Do you think it will, and do you think it should? And then conclude with your thoughts with a ranking on the store's scale. And of course, that means S being the highest and S being the lowest.
So the first
S
S
is-
is the
S.
high. So stores,
And then the
Stores.
second
First
one would
S.
be
You have to
T.
explain that to does everyone give you that pause like I just
Yeah.
did?
Yeah, in fact,
Yeah, that makes
we've
sense.
been recently getting some comments that are like, "Can you guys just make it fucking normal?" But I believe that part of being an artist
And
is
so
really
and
discovering.
also if it's
Yeah.
you're like,
So-
well, I want to give it a T, but it's a little bit less than a T.
you can give it a T.0.
It would be T.0.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
O.T.
Those
Well,
are the-
O.T is a different rating
That's
than
a different rating.
T.0.
So you'll-
This is really hard,
I know.
actually.
well,
I
if you
know.
want
'Cause
it
he's
and
on
gone,
S is
Imagine.
the
I
lowest.
know. S
What-
is the lowest, also the highest.
the
Yes,
people who want it gone are the people who want the old man off the sign.
exactly.
Exactly. And there
It
was
this
all
is part of
comes
the
down to
charm.
that.
and
This
there
is
was
part of the charm. Okay, yeah. So, Chris, why don't you start with your thoughts, your rating? Yeah.
It's very, very, very hard. First of all, you guys have handicapped me I know you don't want me bringing it up, but the fact that there's a very reliable and for vegetarians, the size menu is. It's weird to not at least mention it, but I will say
There's food in the. You can talk about the food in the general store.
Yeah.
Chris, I'm serious, dude. Yeah, I know.
So
If
let's
I-
just
look, I
be
wish-
honest about what we're doing.
I wish
okay?
we were 10 years
The
older and had
bonus-
come up with Doughboys first, but we didn't. So here we are.
The bonus episode
Is
is
the
talking
food.
about restaurants.
We're talking about the
okay?
food on it.
And
That's
people
so
need to pay.
fucked up. Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Yeah.
Are you
Okay?
fucking kidding
no,
me right now?
No,
Luke?
I had. Okay, let's just be honest.
Behind the
The
paywall.
bonus
Goddamn
episode is behind the
business not
paywall.
bring up
Yeah.
the restaurant, which is such a major piece of the goddamn
Well,
puzzle.
yeah, we will
And
be
it's not
covering it
Yes, we
personally.
will easily- yes, we're going to
Actually
be
about
covering
the integrity
it.
of your ideas so that you have Patreon content.
Well, no.
Well, for our
it's,
suppo- no, for our
Patreon content
supporters-
is different. It's we
Also-
do other stuff.
Also,
on
for
there.
our supporters, they will get the entire store.
They will
idea
get the
of
entire
both
I don't
halves.
get to talk about that delicious fried catfish.
No, we can't. We can't say it. We
I
can't
don't-
say it.
yeah,
Okay, we
sorry.
can't say it. Otherwise,
You
it's going
could
to
say
take.
maybe you could I don't know, DM me about it or something. I don't. Yeah.
Send Luke a DM and we'll read the DM on the bonus episode.
This is one of the most fucked up things anyone has done to me on a podcast. And I dare any of you to Google some of the things that tough guys have said about me on podcast.
It's not called restaurants, Chris.
Yeah, it's called stores.
It's called stores. Not called
That's
restaurants.
so fucked up that you guys did that to me.
I know.
I feel really emotionally betrayed right now.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Take it up with Doughboys.
Yeah.
Vote Denzel, everybody.
Vote then.
I'm in such a weird place because I think people could tell. Like, it's not ironic. If you are like, I bet I'm not the only person on this earth who, if you have had to do a ton of travel around America, like I have, just a relentless amount of travel in the course of my career, there's a vast amount of comfort in Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
Cracker Barrel being one of the linchpin places to get people into really good sodas. I like that on a
Big for
fundamental
you.
level.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
big for me. It's a topic I love. And to be able to tell people like, yeah, no, it's not bullshit. Cracker Barrel actually, like if you're looking to learn more about good sodas that are not the supermarket shelf sodas, Cracker Barrel is a great, great starting point. There is a part of me that sits here and goes, I don't like, and it's going to sound dramatic, but there's actually a lot of truth to it. My wife, very often, like we have a flagpole. We bought our house. There's a flagpole outside, and we don't fly an American flag from it because we're progressive thinking people who go like the American flag, sadly, just a regular American flag now calls into question, are you like a fucking
The idea of
right-winger?
flying
Like-
one
Yeah.
like that, obviously,
Yes.
yeah,
On
because
a
that's
flag.
the
They-
the right
Yeah.
wingers stole the American flag, and I feel like this recent controversy, the jury is still out on how much of a dialogue Cracker Barrel is now going to become.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like Cracker Barrel and Sydney Sweeney they got in the same month. Sydney Sweeney and
They're
Cracker
co-opting all
Barrel.
this random shit that has nothing to do with it and pulling it into
Sydney
the
Sweeney
war.
used to be for everybody.
Yeah.
Now look at her.
Now look at her.
And Cracker Barrel is in the same boat. So in a vacuum, I put the Cracker Barrel store solidly at an R, probably landing 0.5 between the R and the E.
So R point E.
R.E. And if you allow me to recognize the existence of a
I don't-
very consistent restaurant,
We
It's
don't. We really
probably even
don't.
higher. That gives you the option of cornbread or biscuits.
Well, it's
Oh,
not.
and I would
maybe
love
we can
to
talk about the cornbread
and I
mix
would-
and the biscuit mix that
and
they
I
serve
would-
at the
I
store,
would-
Chris. Perhaps, and then you could go home and make it yourself, and that'd be totally fine. But if we're talking about ready-made biscuits in a basket, that's not something that they have at the store.
If I was able to recognize that restaurant, it's probably an E.S.
Well,
But
Pat,
it's
take that
probably solidly an R,
Yeah.
So
especially as I.
Oh wait, sorry. I think you may have reversed it. So
yeah, you reversed it. Yeah.
S the first
S-T-O-R-E-S
S is the
yeah.
top.
So the first S is the
the
top, and the
first-
second
you guys
S
have
is
a
the
confusing
end.
system where the
Okay,
first one is also the best.
The first
What?
is the best. Stores is the best. So S is the best. T is the second best. O is the
So
third
then
best.
I'm in.
And then S
I
is
think
the.
you meant.
Let me
'cause
explain it. Hold on. Let me
Please,
explain it.
Jessica.
So I also
S-
not
so
only do
S
you guys
is-
have a confusing system, I have to read right to left like the Torah.
No, like
No.
so S is the
Torah
worst
that a right to left?
score.
Yeah.
So S is the
Was
worst
that-
score.
Was I say?
And
was
it
that
goes
correct?
all
I'm
the way
Jewish,
to
and I'm gonna
S.
say you are right.
Good. Okay.
Okay.
So
Wait,
then
sorry.
I'm saying it's probably an O point T as a store
Okay.
Great.
in my
Okay.
heart. If I was allowed to recognize the
Right,
existence of
which
the
you
restaurant,
are,
it's
which you
probably a
are.
T point S.
Sure.
But
Right.
I'm probably gonna just land solidly at O. So
And
as
we're gonna
to
have to
watch
cut
my
out
own
that-
back.
We're gonna
And
have to
not-
cut out that rating of the restaurant.
Yeah,
so
because again, I don't.
that won't be in the
it's-
final episode.
I mean, we're
just so you know.
moments from the end, and you're still.
You guys
it's like,
saw
I
that
think we
my
made it
anger
clear.
at that was genuine.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
yes,
The
we
fact
did.
that you guys waited that long to tell me we're actually going to talk extensively about the restaurant.
Well,
we
on
just
the
don't want
bonus, it's
you being a
bonus
part of it.
content.
Well, just
Crazy.
wait till we get to the segment.
Oh yeah, the segment.
Oh, I'm
you're-
very
yeah,
excited
You're
for the
really gonna like the
segment,
segment. Yeah.
So I'm landing solidly at O, understanding that I don't want, even in a comedic context, someone will eventually find audio of me saying that I love Cracker Barrel and be like, well, Cracker Barrel has become the fucking
Yeah.
Steve Ben and hang out. And
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to deal with any more unnuanced conversations like that on the internet. How about you guys?
Well, for me, I'm gonna say, Chris. The last thing to answer is, do you want it to exist in 25 years, and do you
Oh,
think it
yeah.
will? Do you think it will exist?
I see people saying like, oh, okay, you guys don't want to evolve, and everybody who eats there is like a gray hair who's going to die out, and you're going to lose your own business. I don't know about that. I think it will exist. There's a part of me that would like it to exist,
Because you agree with everything. No.
because I firmly agree with the current direction of their politics and the way the winds are pushing that. No, but I'll say this:
Last 2 weeks ago, I didn't give a shit about Cracker Barrel. Now it's the only thing I think about.
hated
Oh.
Cracker Barrel up until then. I will say this: there's like a certain nostalgia element of Cracker Barrel that feels a little fake, and in 25 years, it weirdly will be real. So I
Yeah.
want that to exist, but more so, I want the places like Pal's Cabin to not turn into CVS's.
Yeah.
Sure.
I want
Yeah.
those places that are the actual old school local businesses to survive and thrive.
You put them above
Um,
that, yeah. Now, what
yeah.
I would say in response, and I'll just take mine. What
Sure.
I would say in response is that Cracker Barrel's niche is not the same niche as like the classic diner, right?
No.
Like this side of the highway thing. There's never really been like a diner on the side of the highway, at least not like that. I don't think.
Like
Maybe I'm
crap. Well, I think it's kind of in the South. There were sort of. I think that's
Maybe.
a little.
I
bit
can
of a
say my
racist
parents
thing, right?
live in an area in Florida where there's no nearby diners, and Cracker Barrel is the community's de facto diner, and I
Sure.
feel that's fucked up.
Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
You wish it didn't
don't
take
like that.
over.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
I like Cracker Barrel a lot. I think I'm very positive, especially, I mean, this was a good
Store.
outing. This was a good outing
The store part.
to the store. Yeah. This was a very good
To the
outing to the store. I like it. I think it's a really good place to stop on a road trip. I think that it's been a presence in my life for a very long time, and it's always been a positive presence. And yeah, I think it will continue to exist. It's very well angled, and I think it's only growing. And I think I'm fine with that. I think I'm totally okay with this specific sort of place, being that it's so strange, continues to exist. I'm gonna give it a T.
Beautiful.
No point, straight down the middle
Straight
T.
down the middle T.
Yeah.
Wow.
I am. First of all, I would like it to exist. I don't think it's going to exist. To be
You think
honest,
it's disappearing?
To be honest, and maybe this is just the heat of the moment, but I think with all this controversy, I think that it will come out scathed one way or the other in a way that will. I am
being
worried,
forced to pick a side.
Exactly. I am worried
Wow.
that it has lost what we were talking about so much, is that it is this sort of Pan-American thing. Now, I will also say
it was neutral. It was one of the weirdly
Yes.
neutral ground corporate experiences.
And now it's being
all over
forced to not
America.
be neutral. I don't.
yes.
I'm not so sure. I think they'll come out unscathed.
Well,
I don't
now
think anybody
I
actually
will
cares.
say too, I did do some research. There was a bunch of times in the 90s where they were actively being like, don't hire gay people, which is, a lot of
Huh.
corporations like that. But I do think Cracker Barrel, it does have its roots in that stuff, I think more maybe than we realize. And I think they then in the 2000s really went the opposite direction purposely to make it what we see it as today. Now, I don't know. I think it is something we talk about in this store a lot, Chris, is there is like we can have one, like there's no more bookstores, chain bookstores, but there's Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble lasted. That's the one that made it through. Books A Million's gone, Borders is gone, blah, 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 but we've made it through. I could see Cracker Barrel as the sort of, this is the one we leave left, you know?
Yeah.
So
It's the last one.
I
standing.
want it to exist. I mean, I love old candies. I love that they were selling one Pokemon toy from a Pokemon that it felt like just random. It
Bisharp.
wasn't Pikachu. It was just Bisharp. And in terms of my rating, you know about you're laughing because Bisharp is such a funny Pokemon to have.
I just
in there.
love clocking that it wasn't even a top 5 in most kids' imaginations.
No, it was
No,
Bisharp.
it was Gen 5. I mean, it was a Pokemon that they came out 10 years ago that is
It's like
in
the
no way.
middle evolutionary line of like a semi-popular, like not even really
Yeah.
popular Pokemon from.
I do think it was
Not that
harsh
recent.
that you referred to Walden Books and B.E. Dalton as blah, 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 blah. Those were the only 2 chain bookstores you left off. That hurts.
I mean, I'm a Borders kid through and through, Borders for life. So I don't care. Sorry, I don't care about those. And then finally, my rating. I think the general store. I'm also going to put it solidly at O. And frankly, and this has nothing to do with it, I just think a lot of times you eat those old candies and they taste like fucking shit, and no amount of nostalgia is going to change that.
Yeah, that's interesting that you bring up those old candies
Because we've got actually.
because I almost can't remember what they taste
Huh.
like. So, Chris, I'm very excited to welcome you to our segment today, the Candy Taste Test. Now, this will be
Okay,
very exciting for you.
yeah, I'm
So
into
we've
this.
gotten a lot of we've got a big selection of candies that we got from Cracker Barrel that we're going to be trying and sort of reviewing.
And
Yeah.
obviously you're remote, but we thought maybe you could kind of maybe look at them and kind of, just tell us
And
what you.
we'll sort of let you
We'll
know
let
what
you know what they taste like,
we'll
and then
let
you
you know
kind of
what
say
it
would I
tastes
I
like.
like
Yeah.
that, or do I think
I
that's
also will say too, you know, there is a world in which you could have given me a heads up and I could have picked up some of these candies and participated in this.
Huh.
No, I don't think so. All right, so okay, so we've got Necco wafers.
Yeah,
Yeah, do you like those, Chris?
disgusting. That's a
yeah, I know, I
disgusting
love them.
candy.
My uncle or my grandpa loved these. Dang, we could have told him about it, huh?
Crunchy. So this is Chico stick.
I-
Crunchy
you know, it didn't
peanut
cross
butter
our
rolled
mind,
and
Chris.
toasted
Chico stick.
coconut. Now, does that sound
Delicious.
good to you?
Yeah, Chico Stick's delicious.
Wow.
Necco wafers, bad.
Well, let me see how I like it.
I'm gonna have a Chico.
You
I
guys
really,
got-
I like Chico.
Now wait,
stick.
And you
How
said
are
you
you
like
gonna-
this? You said you like
yeah,
this?
I like a good Chico
Oh,
stick.
I
this
love
is
them.
gross to
Really?
me. Oh.
How are you going to
This
clear
is
all the Chico
gross.
stick before you throw a Necco wafer on top?
You mean in the mouth?
In the mouth?
You don't want Chico stick up in your molars and then also chomping on a Necco wafer. This is
And
And
gonna
they're
be
stuck
real
in there now.
disgusting.
Yeah, that's now
See,
stuck
Chris,
in
this
my
is
mouth.
exactly-
You
I'm
started
so-
with a Chico stick.
You're bringing the exact thing. You're kind of like the advisor. You're kind of the manager of this whole experience. And in that
Yeah.
way, just like the coach doesn't go out and play basketball with the Philadelphia Flyers, you
This all
don't-
feels like guilt for you, not just simply giving me a heads up.
Can I
This
be
all just
honest?
feels like your guilt.
No.
This is a classic thing I do where Jesse had this, I was like, yeah, that'll be fun. It'll be mean. And then as we were going in the episode, it was happening and it got closer and closer. And I started being like, I
So
think
you
I feel bad.
anticipated my disappointment to not be.
Yeah. We
No,
thought
that
it'd be
was kind
funny.
of the
That was
whole
kind of- that was
idea.
kind of
Oh,
the
okay.
whole
So
point.
you don't
was-
even really
this
give a
was-
shit about the candies. You just want me to watch you eat them.
that
That's
was
the
my
whole
initial
bit.
pitch.
That was it. And
My
it-
pitch was, let's get a bunch of candies and then Chris has to watch us try them.
And then I instantly clocked it in the most real way that must have been.
100%.
And I actually completely bow under any sort of pressure because I so desperately want everybody
Because
in
you
my
can't
life to
handle
like
it.
me. So
Well,
Because you
and-
can't
okay,
handle
But
it.
it also
Here-
sounds
hang
like
on,
Luke
hang on.
maybe had a panicky version of saying this actually feels kind of mean. And then I, with coldness in my voice, was like, you could have just fucking told me.
Also, yes.
Not knowing.
I'm eating cherry sours.
No, now hold on,
Can I-
hang on.
Yeah.
Sorry. Point of order. I'm going to go assistant coach mode here. Could we ask Chris's advice? Tell Chris all of the candies we got, and then a sort of a playbook. Have Chris give us the correct running order of those candies.
That's a great
Chico
idea.
sticks never should have gone
Never.
first.
Now,
been
but
last.
can I say something, Chris?
Yeah.
I was being a little bit of a stinker by saying, "Oh, I don't like it," because I thought that would be funny to say after you said you would like it.
Oh, so you're just, well, I do
But
think most people
I-
who work with me comedically realize that getting me mad and somewhat bullying me is really
I mean,
it's
usually
fun for the viewer.
Chris, I think
Usually that's
maybe
what happens
we've
to me.
exactly hit on why you and I have the energy we do, because I think I exactly exude that energy as well, and maybe
Well, I mean,
Maybe that's it.
I watched Meg Stalter torment you episode after episode
cigarettes
in
out
a
on
way
your
that
dick.
at points really just looked like it was not fun for you as an
Yeah, yeah,
actor.
yeah.
but I want to
but
I want to
actually, that
say
was just acting.
the
I loved
Chico
every
stick
second of
the
it.
Chico stick was really good.
Chico stick,
and
It's
the longer
great. I
and the
was
longer
shocked.
that it
It's
the
like the
longer that
inside
it-
of a Butterfinger.
I
right?
and
know.
the longer
I
that it
fucking
lasts in
love
my
them.
mouth, the more that I like it.
I like
Yeah.
it. It's like rarely.
Yeah.
It's like I actually like that it gets stuck in your molars because then you get to like
Yeah.
lick them. You know. Okay, so
Yeah.
here's what we got, Chris. This is
This is our
rogues
old
gallery.
this is our old ass candy roundup.
We got Mary Jane's.
Yeah, put those towards the end, and if you boys got fillings, you're not gonna want to be biting down too hard on those.
Chico sticks you've already mentioned, also probably towards the end. Maybe the only thing before the Mary Janes, because Mary Janes go crazy like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We've got
Mary Jane's get rock hard.
we've got just sort of plain vanilla caramels.
These are the rectangular like
Yeah.
blocks. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
classic candy.
That's classic. Are they hard? No, they're soft.
I always loved those.
We've got
Like soft
cowtails,
caramel?
which I fucking
Cowtails
love.
fucking go
Cowtails
crazy.
are so good.
Do you fuck with
When
cowtails,
did
Chris?
cowtails? I feel like I never had a cowtail, and then all of a sudden would see cowtails and be like, "Man, I fucking love those."
They've
But I
been
don't
around
remember
for
when
as
cowtail.
they've been
when did
around
they
for as
show
long
up?
as I've been alive.
I think that they're old.
I think they're kind of regional and old, and now maybe they're having a resurgence. Have you had the Oreo cowtails?
Get
That's the ultimate
fuck
cowtail
outta here.
variant.
So it's
That's the
Oreo
ultimate-
cream in the middle.
It's very similar to a regular cowtail, except it's a little chocolatier on the taffy part.
Ooh.
And the inside is a little bit like more sweet and vanilla, like it. Or it's
How can
maybe
we
the
ever
perfect.
be mad at a store that exists to keep all of these places?
This is what I'm telling
the,
you.
the
This is what
sodas
I'm
and the
telling you.
candies. These
The
distributors are
sodas and the
living off a
candies.
Cracker Barrel.
It's
The
the
sodas
fact
and
that
the
there are
candies.
like 600 Cracker Barrels is the
you
reason
think
you get to like
Cowtails is still around if not for Cracker Barrel?
Mallow cups. No
Mallow
way.
cups, get the
Not a
fuck out of here.
billion.
Where have you seen a
Charleston
Mallow
Chew?
cup? That's
Ooh, I
Charleston
love
Chew
Char-
needs
I
some
love
kind of
Charleston
heat.
Chews, bro.
only place you could get the Charleston Chew growing up was at the town pool.
Mm.
And now you can just get them at a Cracker Barrel. You
Now-
just have to have a membership to the town pool.
You used to have to have a membership to the town pool. That is correct. We've also got
the
cinnamon
Ginny
bears
Dunkel pool.
The
and
town
cherry
pool.
sour. Now I really hate cinnamon stuff. So
I
I'm-
hate the cinnamon
the
stuff
cherry
too.
sours. I already had one, and they're fucking incredible though.
Cherry sours
Take
always hit.
Yeah.
Cherry
They're
sours
always
is good. What's
so
the other one?
fucking
What's the
good.
cinnamony one?
Cinnamon bears, gummy bears that are cinnamon, and they're
Yeah.
a little too big too. They're not.
But the
they're about-
cherry sour balls,
incredible.
such a classic treat.
Classic.
I mean, amazing.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat. I will
Yeah,
still
Chris. What
sometimes
do you
get
like to
these.
have some of these right now? Mm.
Don't make fun of our own idea.
Well,
I do retroactively feel half bad and half great that my reaction to that was clearly Luke's anxiety come to life.
yeah,
But,
totally.
no,
totally.
it was the perfect reaction. I think that's
For
the reaction
you to
I
witness.
wanted.
Yes. You wanted to fuck with me, but it immediately made Luke
Yeah, I
feel
am.
bad,
I have no.
which
it's-
everyone wins.
Yeah, I can't.
Up
actually,
next, Necco wafers. Now, Necco wafers.
Necco wafers is bad.
I have never eaten,
Ugh,
but I
that's
have-
so bad.
but I have
so
used
bad.
them.
They're
to,
all wrong. They're all wrong. They're like they're like dusty, but also too hard. They don't taste like it. They're really the thing where you're like, we have come so far.
There's few candies worse, and there's only one that I can think of definitively that's worse.
And what's that?
The circus peanut, which
Now,
my
that was
wife
one of the ones
loves.
that we haven't copped, and our friend Chris Chalakian will not stop telling me how good they are.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
Oh, they're bad.
They're banana
They're
flavored
bad.
for some fucking reason. I have no idea.
Are they
what that
banana
is.
flavor? Is
They're
that the
banana-
flavor?
that's
they're
what
going
Yes,
for?
that's
Yeah.
they're banana flavored.
It's like chewing on packing peanuts.
They're
It's
awful.
bad.
I don't get it.
Necco wafers should only ever be used, and I've only ever used in my life, as shingling for gingerbread houses.
Sure.
And any other
Great
use
call.
case makes no sense.
Great call.
A lot of this, I would say, a lot of these appear as if. I know it's really bad.
So
Okay, I bit into the Necco wafer, and it's texturally the same as. It's the same as chipping a tooth. It feels
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
horrible.
it's like
Necco
eating somebody
wafers,
else's tooth.
texturally, flavor wise, they're not good.
So
But
what's
that
your
being said,
with
I'm
this
fundamentally glad Cracker Barrel still carries them.
Yep.
with this team here, this team of candies? What's your running order? What order are you putting these guys out on the field, and who is your MVP between Mary Jane's, vanilla caramels, cowtails, sour cherry, cinnamon bears, and Necco wafers. And of
I
course,
think
our
you
peanut
start
butter.
with the caramels and then you use one of the fruity things as a palate cleanser before going to the cowtails. Use the other fruity thing as a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Necco wafers, I personally think you can just leave out
Bench.
entirely.
Bench.
Water boy.
And then you end with the Chico stick followed by the Mary Jane. There's no coming back from a Mary Jane.
No.
Right. That makes sense.
You don't know what the fuck your mouth is even going to be
If-
after a Mary Jane. You don't know if you're going to have functioning teeth after a Mary Jane. But when you get a Mary Jane that softens up after the first few chews,
There's
that
something
flavor
to it.
is
There's
great.
something to it.
It's good.
Some of the older candies, even Bit of Honey, is a little good.
I always felt like the Bit O' Honey was the entry level Mary Jane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was actually about to ask, is there any difference really between them? And I think you've hit the nail on the head.
The Bit O' Honey is Blink 182. The Mary Jane is Green Day.
Now, which of these is Alien Ant Farm?
Fantastic
I
question.
think it would be the cinnamon bears, right?
The Cinnamon Bears is Alien Ant Farm?
Bears.
Yeah.
But I like Alien Ant Farm.
I like cinnamon bears.
Really?
Okay.
Legit? Or are you kidding?
I'll
for
eat
the
'em.
podcast?
Are you kidding for the
Are you,
podcast?
kidding? Are you making a
Kidding.
joke
Okay,
for the podcast?
no,
or you
see,
actually like
and I'm
it?
asking you as a friend. Are you kidding for the podcast?
I love cowtails.
Pat, are you kidding for the podcast?
Are you?
How bad are the cinnamon bears bad enough that if they were the only candy in the house and you were fiending for sugar, you wouldn't even go there?
I don't think I would. I don't think I would. They wouldn't scratch that itch for me.
All right, let's try
Necco
a
wafers, I
cinnamon
don't go there.
Necco
Cinnamon-
wafers also,
God,
if
they
I was
have
feeding.
they smell like you take them in the bag. They smell.
Oh, fuck. Why are they so huge? They're enormous. Do you want one?
Cinnamon bears.
If I'm putting
where
these
does
guys
the
on
bonus content live?
Patreon.
Patreon.com/stores the podcast.
And actually, yeah,
Oh.
sorry. I would like to offer, chewing food. I would like to offer, if you want to give us your
No.
restaurant takes
No.
for that.
Oh, we can add it to the bonus episode.
Yeah,
Yes.
in
You
a
think-
DM. In a DM, yeah.
You think I'm going to go to this place that is the road trip restaurant where we have said all Americans are welcome, and I'm going to put my thoughts on that restaurant behind a paywall? That's one of the most fucked up capitalistic things I've ever heard of anyone do.
Well, it's called the bottom
And-
dollar.
Hey, can you? Okay, Chris.
And
Chris, we have
it's called
to.
and we've got some thresholds we have to hit this quarter, Chris. And if you're not going to play
This
ball, well,
quarter.
see yourself on the way out.
Chris, could you just?
Oh, wow.
Could you just mute us for a second? Just mute us for just 1 second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm just gonna ask him to say it now, and then you just cut it out and put it in the bonus
And we'll
episode.
make it seem like it's part of the
bonus
real
episode.
But we'll
Easy.
tell them it's part of the main episode.
Yeah, we'll
Cool.
tell him. Oh, we changed our mind. You know what? You won us over. You broke us down.
Yeah, cool. Sounds good. And so let's just get back in there real quick. Do you think Chris likes me?
No.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I don't
that's
get that sense at
unfortunate.
all.
Yeah.
I don't get that sense at all.
Sort of.
But
sort
he
of-
really hates me.
Yeah,
That's what's so tough.
I don't think he thinks about you at all. Mad
that's sort of how I'm
Worse, way
feeling a
worse.
little
Mad
bit.
Men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Chris, now we've come to our minds and we feel so bad about
Also,
the
could you
candy-
unmute us? Just
Oh yeah, right. So, okay, unmute. So, Chris, we feel so bad about the whole candy debacle. This was a complete snafu on our parts. We thought maybe we could just let you have the floor, uninterrupted, give your thoughts on the Cracker Barrel restaurant. Take it away.
I'm actually going to take it one step further than that. I'm going to let every listener of your podcast know that I will be subscribing to the store's Patreon.
oh my god.
I will take the restaurant thoughts and release them on the beautiful anonymous feed.
For free.
If you want all access, as Cracker Barrel should be, I'm joining the Patreon and I'm going to Robin Hood that shit. Steal from the rich
Yeah.
and give to the average American.
We put a lot of watermarks on it, so good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, there's a lot of
There's
audio.
a lot of-
There's a lot of
there's
audio
yeah, yeah.
jungle stuff
I'm like,
happening on our
This
Patreon
is Stores
episode.
Podcast. This is Stores Podcast.
The
It says that every 5
stores.com.
seconds.
The
Yeah.
podcast about going to stores.
Stores. But would you like to, Chris? Would you like to talk about the restaurant, or is it passed?
Just in general, the restaurant it's reliable. It's great. It's exactly the same everywhere. The vegetarian sides menu is quite doable. I started eating fish again, and the first fish I had was the catfish at Cracker Barrel.
Wow.
The servers are generally very nice, very chill, and you get the basket of cornbread and biscuits.
Ugh.
So good.
Reliable, right down the middle. They're not blowing anybody's minds, but they're exactly what they say they are, and they're exactly the same every single time.
Yep.
And I wish I could tell you if I agree, but unfortunately, we will be waiting.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we can patch it in, and then we can take it back, and we can be like, and that was Chris's thoughts. Let's go to our own.
Yes.
But then we won't use this take. We'll do a different take.
I
like
do
that we actually
not
recorded.
consent to having any of my thoughts
Well, that's
behind
that
your
is
paywall.
like that's so funny because it's too late.
It is too
okay.
late. It is too
Uh,
late.
I am so close to putting all of your Patreon content out for free.
Every episode of
How
Stores
do you
More.
think that would look? Oh, big time podcast royalty takes the little guy by his lapel and shakes him down for free Patreon content. You'd look like a fool, dude.
Imagine if I started pirating your paid content.
That's so
and putting
funny.
it out behind your paywall too.
It's all go. Yes, it'll go behind my paywall.
yeah.
Where it
Well,
belongs.
people
It'll go on
are still
Napster.
paying for it. Yeah.
And record like your own voiceover track where you're just talking shit about him the whole
Yeah,
time.
you're doing mystery science theater, but to our bonus content. Yeah, that's good.
Doing Kill Tony to us. By the way, I tried one of those cinnamon bears. It was as bad as I
Yeah,
thought
they're
it was, or
awful.
maybe even worse.
It was also weirdly, I would say, and I know this is crazy, not flavorful enough where it's like if you liked cinnamon,
No.
I also don't think you'd be happy.
It didn't
with
really taste like cinnamon. It
Sucked.
tasted like a bad jelly bear. And then at the end, it like burned the back of my throat in an unpleasant way that felt like acid reflux. I didn't like it at all.
Now, as we leave, we have one last thing to try, which is the Mary Jane. And I think the best way to do this is for us to chew them loudly into the mic while, Chris, you give your plugs.
Mhm.
Thank you
Will
for
I give
being-
my plugs?
Please, if you would like
And,
to.
and
we'd
if,
love
hold on one second while we unwrap the Mary
Yeah,
Janes.
sorry, give us one
We are
second.
going to be chewing loudly into the microphone while you do this.
We
but-
also all know, can we all agree, you know a lot about the Mary Jane experience you're going to have based on how difficult it is to get the wrapper off the outside.
Mhm.
Oh, fuck. These are good, though. I forgot they're kind of peanutty.
Thank you guys for mentioning the Beautiful Anonymous podcast. It comes out every Tuesday, been doing it for 9 years. Time Magazine recently named it one of the 100 best podcasts of all time, which was very flattering.
Huge.
Also want to say I have a new special. It's coming out on 800 Pound Gorilla in September.
Nice.
So any day now, based on your guys' release special, if it's not out already. And it's called A Father and the Son. And it's the type of emo storytelling bullshit that people like from me, and I'm really proud of it.
Incredible. Well, Chris, truly thank you for taking the time.
Excited to hear it.
It was so fun to talk to you. It was so fun to catch up. And, you know, Chris, dare I say at the end of this, I think you're my best friend. So thank you so much.
Wait, hold on a second. Well,
I won't tell Jesse they're my best friend because they're not my coworker. But you, Chris, you're my best friend.
I really appreciate that. I really loved hanging out with you guys. It was fun. And Luke, all faux antagonism aside, I feel like if we ever lived in the same city, we would probably be hanging all the time.
Yeah, we'd be eating
Yeah.
sandwiches
and Chris,
together.
I think that you and I are best friends.
I don't.
too.
I think that you did okay.
I will say, in passing, a generally good vibe of you based on this first experience.
That's all you can really ask for, really.
Like,
I
your
mean,
fucking producer's been kind
I
of
know,
getting on my
he's-
nerves this whole
we're trying to figure out a situation, but it's a money
Yeah,
thing.
he's causing issues. He's causing issues.
He's
every
so
week.
good at producing, and he's so awful as a guy. It's really
he loves
It's all
he's really
personal
good at,
complaints.
he
yeah.
loves jumping in at random moments where it's almost like dropping a stop sign out of the sky when you guys are already going 80. Have
And
you
what's
noticed that?
amazing,
Yeah.
what's amazing is I think you have in that moment hit on his greatest anxiety that he will then take and think about for the rest of his
Yeah,
week.
he's going to now have a DVD screensaver of you saying that bouncing around in the inside of his head
Yeah.
for maybe the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Well, much longer than that. Well, thank you, everybody.
Let's just remember, I'm yes-ending your bit, fellas.
I think you're
I
being
know.
very cruel, Chris.
But I do think, but I do think, yeah, and I do think Pat's a monster. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening to Stores. You can find more bonus content, including our reviews of the food behind Cracker Barrel on patreon.com/stores the podcast. You get a bonus episode every week, $6 a month, $10 for the video tier. Chris is throwing his glasses off in horror because he knows that he too will have to face the wrath of putting his credit card information into Patreon to get that amazing bonus content if he wants to hear what we think. Jesse, any final thoughts?
I don't believe so. The cherry sours are the best one. Everything else was garbage.
Yep. Well, Choco Sticks are good. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
The Mary
Bye.
Jane's no
Bye.
good?
I like the Mary Jane, but it is still
I thought
stuck
it was-
in my teeth in
and
a
I
way
thought
that
it was
is
bad.
honestly unpleasant.
I thought it was bad.
Bye.
Bye.